Got something awesome to show you guys. So first and foremost, look at this. It's like a super awesome shiny. I'll have to send photos in Discord. Okay, there's that one. Then a green kind of shiny. I tried a matte and it didn't work out. The matte sucked. But let me show you this. Girlfriend? Got me an entire fucking nail kit. Filled to the brim. It's also got room for an acrylic light thing. The UV thing. Yeah, W's to her. These look really good. I'm gonna have to send it in a in the Discord. It's not really visible on this with all the lights that I have. How's everyone doing? Sapphire, we'll get you up in just a moment. Are they galaxy nails? Not really. I'm trying to get it in the light with it focused. I can't really get it with the light. There's sparkle. I got tools to be able to do galaxy though. All right. God, I love that song. Let's get Sapphire up here. Sapphire the Witch. This is going to be a good conversation. Please. Hello.
Hello, Evidence. How are you?
Doing all right. Yourself?
I'm very good.
Hell yeah. You over the age of 18?
Yeah, I'm 24. And I've been on your panel a couple of times before.
Oh, okay.
Under
Okay.
the account Guagua. I
Under
don't know
which?
if you remember that.
What's the name?
Guagua.
I can't currently remember. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, I just came up to talk about the prompt.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about it? You believe in the soul?
I do think that souls exist. And the evidence that I have for this is just the fact that we have like a conscience, you know?
Oof. See, that's a really great idea when we're still ignorant on neuroscience. But neuroscience
Mm-hmm.
has a consensus that consciousness is simply an emergent property from the brain. Without a brain, you don't have consciousness. The brain working in the way it does with the different neural pathways it has, when working correctly, emerges the property that we call consciousness, which is just observations of our external world and the processing of information therein.
Oh, sorry. Let me clarify. When I said that, I don't mean consciousness. I don't mean like being awake. I mean having a conscience, like Jiminy Cricket. Like, when you do something like bad, you feel like guilty about it. So not conscious, conscience with an N.
Sure.
That's the word I was trying to say.
My argument for that would have to just simply be you only have your quote unquote personality or conscience, which are two in one, because of past experience and certain traumas, certain the way you grew up, etc., the people around you. That's just your
Mhm.
personality.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. And so I'm just gonna say like the reason why I think it's like the soul as opposed to like, just the brain is if you have like, okay, so to me it makes sense. You might disagree. To me it makes sense that like if our brain is trying to make sure that we survive, which is the whole purpose of the brain, right?
Mhm.
Then the brain wouldn't really have problems with you doing certain things that are bad or immoral if it means that you have to like survive, right? Because your brain is just going to be like, well, this is what we need to do to ensure our survival, so we're just going to do that, yada yada yada. And we're not going to think twice about it because there's like really no benefit to feeling like guilty about like doing bad things that are needed for your survival, like let's say for example stealing money, right? However, when we do these things, most people, obviously not everyone, there are some people who are very like unempathetic. I understand that. But most people, they do feel like a sense of guilt when they do bad things. I can tell you that I always like think very deeply about the things that I do because I feel guilty just like at the thought of like accidentally hurting another person. So why do I have that feeling? Just simply having a brain, I feel like cannot fully explain that.
It 100% actually does. So empathy is just going to be chemical reactions and again experience of lived experience and social constructs. Morals are by definition just principles developed in societies to determine right from wrong. We still have cannibal islands, bro. And there's
Yeah,
lots
true.
of people that do, and it actually is okay to steal. If I'm in a store and there's a woman stealing a fuck ton of baby shit, I'm gonna let them. If someone's stealing food, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna help them steal it, actually. Stealing's not bad. What we do find bad is when we harm other people. And why is that? Because we're social creatures. If we are harming other people, we die. We have to have each other's help. I'm not a good carpenter. John Smith over there is. Um, I'm not able to build a building. Jenny is able to, et cetera, et cetera. Everyone has their specific skill base. We have to have people in a society for our own survival. That's where empathy comes from.
Okay, yeah, true. That makes a lot of sense. So you think that's kind of where, like, for example, like like the other day I wanted to shop for clothes and I thought, okay,
Mhm.
let me buy some stuff on Shein, but then I was like, no, 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 let me not do that because like that store has like very bad human rights issues, and I'm not going to do that. You think that just like naturally comes about like as a result of like me living as a person in society?
Oh, 1000%. When you take someone from a different culture that doesn't have our social norms, they accidentally do things that we consider bad. Like if you go to certain countries and give someone the thumbs up, you're flipping someone off. Like these are just social norms. Some stealing certain things is a social norm.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting. I hadn't really considered that, because I had always seen it from the point of view that because you have a soul, um, which to me, in my mind, would be like located in the brain, then this soul would basically like not want you to do bad things. Like that's why you kind of feel like pain in your heart when you do like a bad thing. Well, not physically in your heart, but you know what I'm saying. Like you
Mhm.
you feel bad about doing bad stuff. You feel guilty when you're mean to someone else and stuff. And that's kind of like where I got that idea from. And then like my response would just be like if someone were to ask me like, "Oh, where does the soul go?" I would just be like, it's probably like in your brain because like when your brain gets damaged or something like that, you are not able to, how do I say that you're not able to do the same things that you were doing before, like for example, there was a person who like his brain got damaged and then his personality just totally changed, right? Like he became like a very cruel, sadistic person. And yeah, I'm just gonna say that I don't know, something went wrong with his soul or something.
Something definitely happened to their brain. There's no evidence
Yeah.
of a soul existing though, and for it to exist in the brain would be what we call an empirical claim, which means it's a physically, tangibly demonstrable claim that we would be able to prove. We'd be able to say the soul exists in the hippocampus.
Mhm.
That
What
doesn't
about
exist.
someone? What about someone just like unaliving? Because like we would just say that like someone when they unalive the soul leaves the body.
There's no evidence of a soul leaving the body.
Okay. Um,
You have NDE stories, which are all made up due to DMT flooding the brain. Because as you're passing away and your brain is going through all these changes, it's flooded with chemicals and you hallucinate. Hindus see their gods or reincarnate. Christians see a bright light. Some atheists see absolutely nothingness, just black. You just see whatever you believe thanks to hallucination.
okay, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for telling me that. I'll definitely think about it. Um,
Heck
yeah.
yeah. Find some evidence for this soul and come back and prove it to me. I'd love for it to be true. I appreciate you and I
Oh
hope you have a
wait,
good day.
hold on. I
Oh,
have I have one last thing to
go
say.
for it.
Actually, I do have like physical evidence of a soul. It's
Ooh.
called soul food.
That's pretty good. I like that. That was a good joke.
Okay.
A plus. All
Okay, thank you.
right, you have yourself a good day. All right, Sapphire.
You too.
All right, bye bye. That was pretty awesome. Let's get RPA in here. Let's get the timing for that down real quick. What is up, RPA? How are you doing?
Good.
All right, you over the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
All right, which god or I don't even need to ask that question. Do you believe in a soul?
Are you a hippocampus?
What?
Are you a hippocampus?
Explain that.
It's like a college for hippos.
Interesting. That's a good joke. I'm laughing. Hey, do you believe in the soul?
You didn't answer my question.
Julio Leolio. Da, 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 da. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. All right, it's where he goes to get over his hip. Jesus fuck. Primordial. That was a big one. Mm, 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 mm. You're at the Olive Garden using the unlimited soup side and breadsticks. Coupon. Hmm. DuckTales. What? The flesh, blood, and body of existing 500 years before and after, but the souls, where does it go? Huh? Oh, you guys don't like Olive Garden? That's crazy. Just crazy. I'm gonna. How that works. Primordial with the 100A. Absolute legend. Thank you for the super chat, Primordial. Everyone W's to Primordial. Supporting the stream. You are a legend. Look at that cute little heart. Happy face. Ain't they so cute? That's not enough W's for Primordial. I think every single one of you needs to be spamming W. Let's get Soam in here. I don't know how to pronounce your name, and I apologize for that. YouTube YouTube does not take a percentage if it's donated. If you guys do super chats, YouTube doesn't take that. That's counted as just pure donation. All right. How do I pronounce your name? I am so sorry.
Oh, my name's just Sophie. I just have it like that so people don't know who I am. Like my
Valid as fuck,
friend.
not gonna lie. All right, give me one moment to get our timestamp down real quick. You said Sophie.
Yeah, I really just like have a question and
Sure.
that's it. So like I don't know, this is kind of like it sounds like a science question, but it's also like existential.
Sure.
Like why do our bodies work so hard to like keep us alive? Like what is the point in that? Like why does the world function in such a way that it keeps us pushing forward and keeps us living?
Does it?
Like why do we have to be alive?
You think it does?
Like, yeah, because like if you get injured, then your body sends like all these defense mechanisms and all this stuff to like keep you alive or whatever. And like, why does it do that? Like, why does it have to keep us pushing forward if like there's no point in life?
Well, there's no inherent purpose to life, but over
Mm-hmm.
billions of years, our bodies have formed thanks to survival. So the people that survived, the creatures that survived, that we have came down from, whatever traits they had got passed on to
Mm-hmm.
us, and the bad traits that didn't help survive died off. So it's not like there's no purpose to that. It's just
Mm.
survival of the fittest. Like we just happen to have that skill.
But like, why? I guess my question is like, why do we survive? Like, what's the point at the end of the day? Like, what's the point of our survival? I guess.
That's a personal, subjective opinion, honestly. I'm still trying to figure out
Okay.
what my subjective purpose in life is. Like,
Mm.
think of it this way. If someone told you that the entire purpose of life is to have babies, do you agree or disagree?
I would See, I would disagree on like a moral personal level, but if again, like I'm looking at this from like a I guess a science perspective, like I
Yeah.
guess that's
Think of
exactly
it
what
from
it
a
is
science
to just like
perspective.
have babies,
Can every
basically.
single person have babies?
No.
So then that's not the inherent purpose to life. Does
Mm.
everyone care about climbing the career ladder?
No.
So that's not an inherent purpose to life. Like there really isn't one. You just have to figure out what you like personally and push on that.
Oh. Okay. Well, sure.
I know it's a little bit bleak, but nihilism is the biggest truth that we have about life.
That sucks. Oh well.
it
Thank
it
you.
can suck. You can still make your purpose in life. Like okay, so like I'm an extremely objective person, especially in my debates.
Mm-hmm.
But in my subjective life, I practice witchcraft and I meditate and I
Mm.
talk about energies, etc. with people. Or I scare the shit out of Christians when they knock on my door. I'm like, hey, I actually worship Lucifer. Like those are subjective fun things. I don't take them as
Mm.
objective truth. So you can still live your life in some specific way, even if it's
Mm.
not necessarily absolutely true.
Yeah. Because I'm actually a Christian. I just like I don't know. I also like really don't like the idea of like we're gonna die and then I'm just gonna like live for eternity. Like I just keep going. But
I mean, there's beauty to that, and there's also fear to that. Like, in accordance with every observation ever in the universe and history of mankind, you're not gonna have an afterlife. There's
Mm,
absolutely no evidence for that at all in all of science, in all of biology, in all of history.
yeah.
Um, except for this one book written by anonymous authors called the Bible that
Okay.
claims that you're gonna live forever. That's just a desire because people fear the unknown. But
Mm,
how can you fear non-existence? You don't have the chemical reactions in your makeup to be able to have the feeling of fear.
mm.
You didn't fear the first billion years before you were born, did you?
No.
It's gonna be the exact same thing. You're gonna be alive. You're gonna live your life really good. You're gonna get married. Maybe you're gonna have kids. Maybe you're gonna have an awesome career, own a billion businesses, help a bunch of people out, help the hungrier, et cetera, et cetera. You're gonna do what you're gonna do, and hopefully, you're gonna just have a peaceful passing on. What you
Yeah.
did mattered, and there's not gonna be anything after. It's not scary. It's not sad. It's you know.
Dang. Just like I don't know, like everything I think of, like life is just so lame. Like there's really I don't know. Like I'm getting into like I guess I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'm just like thinking like a nihilist right now.
Yeah.
Just there's nothing fun.
You should read a book called The Myth of Sisyphus. It's a philosophical
Hmm.
book. It's kind of like deemed as the philosophy of how do I say this on TikTok? Um, self unalivement. It's kind of the philosophy on that and like
Okay.
how to like deal with and how to think about that just absolute pathetic crap that we have going on right now. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I agree with you that there's absolutely no purpose to us existing. Does that mean that we shouldn't exist? No, it doesn't. It also means we shouldn't necessarily exist. I do exist, so what should I do about that? Is how we should think about it. So, um, okay, life is extremely fucking boring. I wake up, I go to work, I come home. I wake up, I go to work, I come home. This is fucking pathetic. Is there anything out there? Look at other countries. Look at the hiking trails. Look at the beauty that's in a tree. Like,
Went out.
you know, got to
Okay.
go
Yeah.
search for that beauty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. Have a good day.
You as well. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's go ahead and get up MDef. How's it
Yo,
going, MDef?
what's up, big dude?
How you doing today, man?
I'm chilling, bro.
Hell yeah. You over the age of 18, man?
Yeah.
All right. And you believe souls exist?
Oh yeah.
All
Yep.
right. What you
Hell
got
yeah.
for me? Why should I believe in them? I want to.
Well, bro, uh this is why, bro, because we don't know anything for real, right? So science could only determine so much. And I heard you're a science dude and evidence and all that. So, with science study in all realms, there's no factual, definitive answers on what science explains, right? For instance, like, our being and the world that we see, we don't even know like what it is, right? We could be in a simulation,
Not
you know
possible.
what I'm saying? Huh?
We have non-codable information in this world. It's not possible to be in a simulation. That was debunked like 6 months ago.
Yeah, we'll explain that.
We have non-codable information like feelings, experiences, etc. Those are non-codable informations. They're
What
not
do you
able to
mean
be
by
coded.
what do you mean? Like elaborate.
Here, I'll look up the meaning behind it.
No, but what I'm saying
Non-codable.
is we don't have all the answers. Like even
Correct.
like
But we do
yeah,
have many answers. I know that I exist. I know that you exist. I know that germs exist.
well, to a certain extent.
No, I know it. This is called
Yeah, from
epistemology.
your
How
own
do I know it?
perspective though.
No,
From
this
your
is
own
objective. It's
perspective.
not subjective.
You have no proof of that, bro.
Yeah, I do. External
No.
verification beyond all reasonable doubts. All evidence concludes it and no evidence is against it.
To what? To what logic? To man-made
Yeah,
logic,
no.
bro.
No, to the epistemic logic of the universe and how it works and the descriptions and laws therein. It's 100%
Yeah, but that's
epistemically
all
sound.
man-made though, bro. That's what I'm saying. Even
Incorrect.
that
Gravity
is
is not man-made. Who made gravity?
who made gravity.
Yep.
I mean, my personal belief is a higher power.
That's crazy. Because last time I checked, it's just due to, and we can demonstrate this in labs and we can observe it with different tools, space-time curvature. So you have this plane, mass
Right, but see what
pushes
you're
down,
doing.
and then it rolls into
Right,
it. That's
but
gravity.
let me tell you what you're doing though, bro. You're going off of all these
Nope.
man-made man. Yeah, it is though, bro. Like you can't really define what gravity is. You can't
I just
define
did.
what you are, bro. You're
It's
not
space-time
comprehending.
curvature.
Right, but dude, you're not understanding the.
I know you're not
We don't
understanding. So
know
gravity is
anything.
space-time curvature. It's when mass
Yeah, you
and
think
distance.
it is.
No, we know that for an objective fact. It's objective, which means mind independent or stance independent. It does not change in accordance with feelings, tastes, and opinions. It has nothing to do with our brain. It is objectively true. We can test it against all
But
things, and it's true.
somebody put that on paper though.
Correct. We observed it and put it on
Right.
paper so other people can learn about it. You're
Yeah,
correct.
but see that the
It's an
thing
objective
is
thing.
that,
You don't have to have a brain for gravity to be true.
bro, you're not even understanding what gravity is. It could
Space-time
not be
curvature.
gravity, not, bro. You're not getting it.
I know
is
you're
you?
not. It's okay. Space-time curvature.
Nah, bro,
You can look it up.
ain't, bro.
You can go learn about it.
I understand that, but whatever was man-made by science,
Gravity's not
there's
man-made.
no-
So space-time curvature has nothing to do with human beings. If
But
we
we don't
didn't
even know
exist,
what
gravity's still
gravity
real.
is.
Yeah, we do. It's space-time curvature. I've said this like 7 times, I think. How many times have I said that, guys? I don't know how many times I said that, but I said it a lot.
according to who?
According to all the evidence, not a person. Because we don't listen to people, we listen to evidence, which is going to be objective facts about reality.
Yeah, but people wrote down that evidence.
Correct. And I can write down that I just said correct, but it's still an objective fact that I said correct.
You're not getting it.
You
It's
can
cool.
write down
It's
objective facts. I know you're not getting it. It's cool. It's cool. I'm trying to
No,
help
no,
you,
I'm,
but
I'm
it's cool.
getting it, bro.
No, you're not.
I'm
It's
getting
okay.
it.
I'm trying to help you
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
So
because what
gravity
you
is space-time
believe
curvature. And we know this through
but
all
that's what you believe,
observations.
though. That's
No.
not. That's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. I
That's
believe
what
it
you
because of
believe.
all the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. There
Right,
is no
it's
evidence
still
that proves
belief,
otherwise.
though, bro. It's still a belief, and you're
Yeah.
just going off
What do you think
evidence
belief
that's,
means?
bro. It's like this. Bro.
I'm going
Do
off
you
objective
believe,
evidence that is proven beyond a reasonable doubt and never
yeah,
failed to be
by
true.
man-made,
Nope.
by man. Nothing we know is nothing.
Yeah, it is.
Nothing that we study.
This is called
that we-
epistemology.
it's-
So you
bro,
need to study
it's just
philosophy to
human-
understand it.
Bro,
Don't crash
it's
out.
Human. I'm not. I'm just saying.
Gravity's
it's
not
human
human-made.
knowledge. It's human knowledge,
Nope.
bro.
If humans
That
didn't
doesn't
exist,
that
gravity
doesn't
would still
deem it-
exist. If
that
humans
doesn't
didn't
mean
exist,
an
germs would still
absolute truth,
exist.
bro.
If humans didn't exist, trees would still exist. If humans didn't
That
exist, the
doesn't
earth would still
mean
exist.
absolute truth, bro. That doesn't
There's
mean
no such thing as absolute truth. We prove things beyond a
Now
reasonable
you're
doubt.
following the train. Now you're following the train.
I need you
So
to pay
that
attention, though.
gravity theory,
Absolute
whatever
truth.
you just said, that's not nothing is absolute truth.
You're correct, but it's
You-
proven beyond a reasonable doubt with all the evidence justifying that it's true.
Still not
So
absolute
the
truth.
reason that it's not absolute truth is because we could learn more about it. That's why it's
No,
not
because
absolute truth.
Right, because we don't know exactly.
It's still true.
Right.
It's objectively true. But we don't know everything about it, and we don't know what we don't know. Therefore, we could learn something new about how it works, but we do know that it does work, and we do know that it is true. That's why it's not absolute truth. So it's proven beyond reasonable doubt. All the evidence is for it. None of the evidence is against it. If
But
you don't believe in
still-
gravity, you need grippy socks.
But still, it's not absolute truth. What we know
Correct.
about
What did I say
gravity-
about absolute truth, buddy? Pay attention.
Right, but what we know about gravity
Is that it's space-time
like-
curvature through all observation and all
right, but
evidence
it's
beyond a
all
reasonable
in the
doubt.
human realm, bro.
Yeah.
What I'm telling you,
What do you
it's
mean
all
human
within the
realm? There is no
human
other realm.
There's no other realm,
Yeah, we have 4 dimensions: height, length, width, and time. Did you know that?
bro. How you can't say there's no other realms in the entire.
can't say there is.
existence of-
You have no evidence for that. You can't say there is.
You don't have no evidence that there isn't.
Yeah, there's no evidence for it, so I have no justification to believe in it. So this is called logic and epistemology.
That's the thing, bro. That's the thing. So you don't. There's no evidence for it. So you.
So why are
put
you
a
saying that's
blockade.
true? There's no evidence for it, yet you're saying it's true? You want to justify that? Prove it? Go ahead.
I'm human. I can't.
Wait, no,
I
pause.
can't
You
prove
just said
them
that it's true, so I want some justification for that. Why should I believe you?
things. You don't have to.
Yeah, you
don't
do.
have to.
I don't
believe
believe
me
things
because
based on faith. That's stupid and silly.
what do you mean it's stupid and silly?
Yeah, to believe things
Bro.
without evidence, that's silly. Hey, by the way, there's a magical unicorn in my backyard right now. Do you believe me?
Bro, that's not.
Have
we're
faith.
not talking about
Have faith.
magical unicorns.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You just talked about a magical realm that doesn't
No,
exist.
bro. It's like saying the depths of the ocean are undiscovered and we don't know what's under there.
That's correct.
So,
That's an objective truth.
yeah, right. But what I'm saying is,
And one day we're gonna
bro,
learn with tools and technology. It's really cool.
bro. It's cool, man.
It's
Like,
cool. I would love for you to
limited-
learn. I would love for
You
you to
can have
learn.
that limited mindset.
You can have
bro.
the
It's
limited
cool.
mind. You can have the ignorant mind. It's all good.
No,
I tried
my
to teach you
mind- my
today.
mind-
So we
No.
have justifications through epistemology, which is
No,
the study of
according to
knowledge,
human knowledge,
in accordance
dude.
with the study of knowledge and how we know what we know
according to
against
human,
the brain.
science is
Nope,
always
that's
being
false.
debunked,
That's
dog.
just objectively false.
Science is always
Debunk
being
gravity. Go
debunked.
ahead.
Some people already debunked it.
They didn't. Space-time curvature. It's true. If you don't believe in it, you need grippy socks. Can I order you some grippy socks at your nearest Walmart for you?
Bro, what we believe
I can get you a self-hugging jacket too. Would you like that? I think they're like what, $29 at Walmart.
Bro.
That's going to be in the Flurfer department where they
bro.
believe in flat Earth.
Bro, you're believing on whatever.
I believe
the
in facts
so-called
beyond
evidence.
reasonable doubt.
No, no, no,
Evidence
no, no.
is
You believe
objective
so-called
justification for
evidence,
things to be
bro.
true. So we
You
test things
believe in
over and over and over and
so-called
over and
evidence,
over.
dog. You feel what I'm saying? You believe in so-called
Hey,
evidence.
are you understanding what I'm saying, brother? So I'm trying to
Yeah.
help you in the ignorance. So we know these things by testing them over and over and over and over and over. Objective
Yeah,
of our
it's
own
human
opinion.
testing, though,
Listen,
bro.
listen. Objective to our own opinions, we test them against reality to
No,
see if
they're
it's true in
error-bound,
accordance
bro.
with reality. It
They're
is error bound, which is
error-bound.
called falsifiable. It is able to be proven true or false. If it is
It's
false,
right.
listen, I'm trying to teach you. It's okay. I know high school failed you, but I'm trying to help you out here.
Nah, bro.
So pay attention for a second. I know high school failed you.
You
This
just
is new.
ran
This is
into
new
the
school.
one. That's
This is-
all you did.
I didn't run
You
into
ran
anyone
into
but
the
an
one,
ignorant
that's
idiot.
it.
So we
Bro,
test
you
things
got
in
eye
objective
makeup
reality.
on, bro. You paint your nails, dog. Like,
Absolutely, I do. What's wrong with that?
that shit's weird, bro. Like,
What's weird about
you's
that?
feminine and shit, bro.
I'm
Fuck
feminine.
out of here, bro. You believe in
feminine.
human science, bro, and
Yeah.
it's been debunked. Science been debunked since day one, bro. Been debunked from day one.
You done?
So, you want to believe?
You done
it just
crashing out,
what the
buddy?
Evidence provides.
Are you done
Because
crashing out,
there's
buddy?
no more,
Buddy, it's
other
okay.
than evidence, dog.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop.
Bro,
Are you good?
You paint your
Are you good?
fingernails, bro.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
It's funny as shit. My dude,
What's wrong with that?
you got mascara on and shit.
I
bro.
don't
That's
actually. I have
funny as hell.
eyeliner on. What's wrong with that?
You got even better, bro. That's hilarious.
It is better. It looks really good. What's wrong with that?
That's what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. How I
Oh, so why
grew
are you
up,
making
bro,
fun of
you's
it?
a foofy, bro.
Yeah, whatever.
foofy,
That's
bro.
where you grew up. It's objectively false. You're an idiot.
Just like science.
What's wrong with it?
And you're
Demonstrate
an
it.
idiot. Just
Demonstrate why it's
just,
wrong.
Just like your observations and your
Oh,
studies
yeah, demonstrate
is
that.
objectively false.
Demonstrate that.
I do. Humans did it.
Oh, yeah,
What you
demonstrate
talking
it.
about?
You just made another claim, so demonstrate it.
Demonstrate what?
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the
Demonstrate what,
treetop.
bro?
When them death falls, the cradle's gone.
That's why, because you ran into the one, bro. You mad. That's why you
I'm
ran
mad?
into the one, bro.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
You're the one crashing
You
out
ran
saying
into
that
the
I
one,
look
bro.
floofy or whatever word you used. You want to demonstrate this?
You ran into the one, bro. You're
The one
type of
idiot.
dude that believes
The one idiot.
science
You're
is
correct.
Absolute truth.
You're the type of dude that denies all science out of stupidity. See how I can say the same thing back at
I
you?
know it's susceptible to error.
I know that
I
you're
know that it's been
susceptible to
debunked.
error.
Yeah,
I know that you're
right,
debunked.
but you put your faith into it.
But you put your faith into
What-
yourself. It's stupid. I don't put
course I'm
faith in
gonna put my
anything.
faith
Faith
in
is
my-
belief without evidence. I believe things based on evidence. So you're
Bro,
objectively wrong
evidence
again.
By who? Who provides the evidence, dummy?
It's not
Who
necessarily a
provides the
who, buddy.
evidence?
It's not necessarily a who, buddy. Without human beings,
Of
gravity
course
is
it
still
is a
true.
who.
Buddy, gravity and
Bro,
trees still exist without
Evidence
humans.
is written down.
Is a tree a
bro.
who?
What?
Is a tree a who?
It could be.
No.
How do you know that?
Because a tree is not a human. It's not its own personal person. It doesn't have personhood.
You
It's
don't
a
know
tree.
that?
I do know that.
You don't
What
know that?
evidence do you have that it's a human being?
It's not a human being. But it's a living
Correct.
organism.
That's person.
It's a living organism.
You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention, buddy. It's okay. I'm trying to teach you.
No,
I'm trying to help.
Is a tree a living organism?
I'm trying to help you, buddy. It's not
I'm
a person.
asking.
It has biology, correct. It's not a person. Person is going person. Hey, buddy, the definition of person is going to be in regards to human beings, Homo sapiens.
Is a tree a
Hey,
living
buddy, it's okay.
organism?
You ran into the one today, so I'm trying to help you out and teach you.
Yeah,
So
no, it's all good,
personhood
bro.
is in regards to human beings, Homo sapiens. So when we say person, we're talking about human beings or Homo sapiens, not trees. Trees are trees. Trees are in a
It's
completely
living
different
organism.
clade than us.
It's a living organism.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a person.
Right. They need water. They need sunlight, just like humans.
Correct. It's not a human, though. It's not a person.
I know that.
Did you finish school?
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro.
No, you
You're the
didn't.
one with eye makeup on, not me, bro. You're
What's
the
wrong
one
with
that
that?
paints your neck. Bro, whatever you. Hey, you.
What's wrong with that?
You rock with it. You rock with it, bro.
It's okay.
And
The closet door is open, brother. Walk out. It's okay. This is a
closet
safe
door,
space.
bro.
This is a safe space. Walk
Bro,
out. Well, you're
bro,
projecting
say
right now. You're projecting. Because you keep on bringing up
What?
my eye makeup. Obviously, you like it. You have a crush, and that's okay.
Nah.
It's okay for you to have a crush.
bro.
So I'm trying to help you. If you want to, just say right now, I've been in the closet my whole life. My family bullied me for it. Just be
Closet,
open.
bro.
Just be open, brother. It's okay. It's
Bro,
a safe
what's
space.
wrong with you, bro? What's
Well,
wrong
I
with
just
you?
asked you, what's wrong with makeup and nails?
What's wrong with you, bro?
Absolutely
Like, is this your
nothing.
9 to 5, bro? Is this how you get paid? Is this how you get
What's wrong
paid
with
on
makeup,
this?
buddy?
I'm asking, is this your 9 to 5?
What's wrong with makeup, buddy? It's okay. Don't run. It's okay. We'll help you out of the closet. Here's a
Bro,
helping
what's
hand.
wrong with
Helping
makeup
hand.
for a
Helping
man?
hand. Yeah. What's wrong with it?
Bro, it's for females, dude.
Says who?
Says me.
Oh, you're wrong.
I'm right.
No. Was Bon Jovi a female?
Yeah, I'm right. I'm right. So what
Is
you
Bon
guys say?
Jovi a female?
Bro, I'm right.
Is Bon Jovi a
can't-
female?
I'm right. I make this for females.
Anyways, we're gonna get the homophobe loser out of here that believes in flat Earth. I hope that he has the day he deserves. That was very interesting. Tried to rage bait him a little bit, but he just got kind of boring. 32. Didn't last too long. He lasted just over 10 minutes. We're gonna get LTC in here. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate you. Trump wears makeup every day. Yep. Guest was too stupid for rage bait. Yeah. Which is hilarious because men throughout all of history have been wearing makeup. LTC, let's get you in here. LTC.
All right, hello.
Hey, man, you're over the age of 18?
No, I'm 18. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, brother.
All
Appreciate
right,
you.
so I'm just looking for counters to. You believe in like atheism, right, and stuff like that,
What do you mean believe in atheism?
or not believe in atheism, but you don't think there's a higher power, right?
Yeah, no.
Nah, okay. So I've been trying to find arguments against like stuff. You know the argument from motion and
Sure.
first efficient cause. Yeah, could you like provide anything for that, like counters to it?
Yeah, what
For why
evidence do you have that
logically-
there's a first cause for the universe, and why couldn't it be the universe itself?
Repeat that. Wait, hold on. Let me turn you up. All right, repeat that.
Okay, so you're talking about Aquinas' first motion, right?
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the universe wasn't put into motion, so the argument doesn't work. And Aquinas' arguments are full of logical fallacies, brother. He's not taken serious in philosophy at all.
All right. So then, moving on from Aquinas, could you give me stuff for like rejections for Gödel's logic right there, or
Which one?
Gödel's logic? Wait, let me find the notes.
Yeah, give me one. By the way, here's the thing. I don't have to debunk God. So check this out.
No, I mean I'm just searching. Like I'm just like searching for like stuff like that. You know.
Sure, are you like a Christian that's just curious, or?
Yeah, just curious. Just curious.
Sure, okay.
Yeah. Also, I'm not even really 100% on Christianity yet. I just know that there's like a higher
Interesting.
power.
Did you grow up
Yeah.
in Christianity, or?
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
But,
gotcha.
yeah, I just believe there is a higher power. Like, what is
Sure.
it? Classical theist, I think.
Yeah, like divine simplicity type thing.
Yeah.
You should
So
read Einstein and Spinoza. This book
hold on,
right
let me mute
here.
my mic.
Yeah, you're good. This guy right here, Spinoza, on ethics. And he talks about a God being the universe, basically, and this is what Einstein would have believed in.
Specifically the S5 system, Gödel's higher modal ontological proof and stuff like that.
Sure. So here's the thing: it's not epistemically sound, brother. So if I make up a logical argument that is coherent for Hogwarts being true in some possible world, does that make it real in our actual world?
Again, excuse my dog. Again,
No, you're
but,
good.
Yeah, I heard your point. Yeah.
Yeah, so those arguments are just silly. Logic, when it comes to logic, doesn't tell us what's true or not. Evidence external of it for the premises. So every premises has to have external evidence proving its truthfulness for logic to even work in the first place. Logic is nothing without evidence. You have to have evidence. So when we use logic for metaphysics, it's fun to see if things are possible. That doesn't mean that they're true. It is possible that someone on Earth can fly. It is possible that a magical metaphysical unicorn exists. It is possible for us to have this metaphysical framework of, if unicorns existed, would they have fur or would they have scales? And we can work out a biological framework for the possibility of that being true in our actual world. That doesn't mean that there's a unicorn out there with scales.
Okay. Yeah,
It's,
I have
you know,
heard that as a counter to Gödel's argument. Yeah.
yeah, it's just kind of silly. Logic is really silly when it comes to that. Logic literally never proves anything.
And then what about for stuff like PSR and stuff and principle of sufficient reason?
I think that you can grant certain things like what's the epistemology called? I am totally blanking right now. Shit.
No, it's cool. You could take your time. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, yeah, this comes from curiosity. Yeah.
Okay, I can't think of the word right now, but when it comes to like sufficient reasoning, it still has to be coherent with reality. So like the most sufficient reasoning for the universe is that energy can't be created, therefore it wasn't. It has always existed. Not that a magical unicorn out there created everything. Like it just still doesn't work. There's no epistemic justification for that.
Oh, okay. And then what's another argument I could think of that Plantinga's evolutionary argument.
Evolution is true whether you believe in God or not.
No, Alvin Plantinga. Do you know his argument that demonstrates metaphysical naturalism combined with evolutionary theory? It's epistemically self-defeating, leaving a divine mind as the necessary presupposition for rational thought.
That's a logical argument. Sure. Can you demonstrate that? Did they demonstrate that? Because this
Yeah,
is an empirical claim. You are saying empirically evolution is caused by some magical non-existent mind. You have to demonstrate that. You have to show us in evolution where a
he has
mind had
logic
anything to do with it.
framework, and then he uses
Logic
formal
doesn't
logic
prove
for-
anything, brother. This is empirical. The universe is empirical. The earth is empirical. Humans are empirical. Evolution is empirical. These are things you have to demonstrate.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, logic doesn't work here.
But can you say it is more like logically inclined to believe there is a higher power?
Absolutely not. There is no justification for that at all. It is impossible for something to exist outside of space-time and interact with space-time. Therefore, the Abrahamic faiths are completely false. And I have no reason to believe in the Hindu gods or pagan gods because it exists nowhere except for in the imagination of the believer. There's absolutely no epistemic justification to believe in these things. And logic, just because it's logically coherent, it logically follows, doesn't mean that it's true in the actual world.
All right. Well, thank you, because that's what I was looking for. I was looking for somebody who could like give me counters to arguments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Sure, I didn't really provide any logical counters. It's
But
really
yeah,
more
it
of
just sounded
the
like, yeah.
you don't need to have a PhD in philosophy and logic to be able to think critically, right? That's the whole goal of my page is I am just a fucking idiot that dropped out of high school. I have a homeschool PhD. I grew up in the church. My dad is a pastor. I was a Messianic Jew.
You grew up like in the church?
Oh my God, yeah. I've been a atheist for maybe 4 years, 3-4 years.
Oh, only? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Oh, I thought you like.
I was a hardcore biblical literalist. I believed Earth was flat, the firmament was true, and every single person in Hollywood was in the Illuminati and a lizard person that came to turn us to the devil. All music was evil except for that by Chris Tomlin. Like, I was fucking nuts. I believed that Earth was 6,000 years old. Like, I was stupid as shit. So the whole purpose of this page is that in the few years that I've been thinking critically, I don't have a PhD. I have no formal education, but I can still think critically.
All right. What was that one book you said I should
Yeah.
recommend to read?
Yeah, this is going to be Spinoza's Ethics.
And this is like what, the mind and stuff like that?
So it's going to go through quite a few different things. But the main reason I was pointing it out is it's talks very heavily about Spinoza's quote unquote God. So he provides really strong foundations and axioms, and then talks about the philosophical idea of the universe being able to be created or not, etc., energy, souls, ethics, etc. Really awesome to get into. This is what Einstein followed. It's
Alright.
logically sound.
And if you're looking for a book that's a little easier to digest, because I've read that one, it is not that easy to digest.
It is a lot. It is a lot.
But like this is an insult on anyone's intelligence, right? There's a book called "Is This Wi-Fi Organic?" I always strongly suggest that book. It basically helps point out logical issues in the world around you so that you can see logical issues and further arguments that you see made towards you.
All right. But yeah, thank you though. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. You have yourself a good day. And if you have any more questions, come back up. We stream every day.
All right.
Have yourself a good one, LTC.
Peace.
Everyone W's for him. That was pretty awesome. Very open-minded individual right there. What is up, Ravis?
Well, man, another day in paradise. I was gonna say, yeah, you should never trust them PhD people. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, fucking idiots. Who do they think they are? PhDs or something?
Yeah, who do they think they are?
Dude, what do they think they know from their books and their empirical studies?
They think that they know. I know that they know. What was it? It was Greg Locke who said, they think that they know them. I know them. Them don't know them. I mean, they don't. I mean, you know what? I'm going to double down. Them don't know them. Direct quote by Greg Locke.
Holy crap. Okay. God, that's awesome. Cody, have you had a chance to glance at my article yet? I am so sorry. No, I just got home this morning, so I'm doing all my work and stuff. I got a video going up tomorrow as well, about debunking some supernatural ghost videos, which will be pretty fun. But I've got quite a few DMs of articles and stuff to read that I'm going to be going through tonight and tomorrow morning.
There are some new people to the platform to be careful of. I know you don't get into the drama side of things, but there are a couple individuals who have gone a little past drama. I'll see if I can't get this stuff and send it to you.
Okay.
Long story short, a common atheist that was a friendly, basically jumped ship recently and is now going around trying to say that other atheist communicators, I don't know if you've heard of African atheists in them, but the communicators like them have been P3DOs, even though they have not been. There's no solid evidence of it, but this person's running around accusing people of it.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, when people hop in here and say shit like that, I just fucking ignore it completely. Like, thanks for the engagement. Provide proof, take it to a court.
What up, Cody?
What's up, Daddy?
We're doing a new prompt today. Souls don't exist.
I am okay, so we actually did the God is Evil prompt yesterday. And yeah, CT did fucking awesome. And dude, God, I love CT so much. Everyone again,
He almost
go follow him.
Listen, the only thing that I'm like I can critique him on is when it came to the hell aspect. He kind of like got himself into a little bit of a pickle there because he didn't know how to counter the translation. Um, and at least from a preterist view, they'd be able to counter that. That may have been like he was able to get out of that problem smoothly. I'll give it to him.
Oh, he's so fucking smart, dude.
But I do gotta say, brother, you you gotta look at I think within my notes where it's Matthew something, I can't remember, Matthew 15, I think,
Okay.
where Jesus affirms the Old Testament laws so that you ain't gotta worry about like them
Oh,
making the argument of the new covenant and everything. New covenant is purely from Paul. Paul, for some reason, thinks that Jesus fulfilled
well, Jesus said it. Like he fulfilled the which my interpretation, correct me if I'm wrong, was that he came not to abolish but to fulfill in the idea that he is
right.
the
And
lamb.
then, oh no. He gives you the reason, right? He says, let me pull it up real quick and I'll read it off to you because he gives the reason, and what's supposed to be fulfilled, and a lot of people skip over that. I want to throw theology onto it, like how you just did with where we get theology from John of the lost sheep bullshit.
So I just thought of a good angle you could pull from the God is evil thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
On the you can take on the commitments of privation theory,
What the
and
hell's
you could
that?
take off on the so the evil doesn't exist. There's privation from goodness, and then you could also take on that God is being, right? God is good, which is equivalent to existence, and then if God is evil, then he doesn't exist.
Interesting. Somebody seems to be really obsessed with Cody and his makeup and nails. I'm not sure that's healthy. Oh, who in chat is going off about it? Dude, there's been so many. I love it. By the way, I gotta show you guys this. Girlfriend, and I still don't have all of it. She got me fucking, first of all, this is a makeup holder for nail polish specifically. Okay. Inside of here is a the ability to get a UV light machine to be able to do acrylics. And then this entire bottom part.
You're a fucking nerd.
Dude, I know. She got it to me and I started freaking out. I was like, that's fucking awesome. And I was like, I'm such a fucking chick. And inside it's just full, like full of different colors. Damn it, can't even show it. Super full. And then we got like different tools so I can like do different like designs and shit, like little like tools to dip in, like little dot tools or stuff to do like galaxies.
Yeah, okay, I'm pulling it up now. Do not think that I have come to abolish the laws or the prophet. I have not come to abolish but fulfill. For truly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not one letter, not one stroke of a letter will pass from the law until all is accomplished. That's right there. That is what is supposed to be fulfilled. That is when the law can be changed. That's when the law is done. And clearly, heaven and earth haven't passed away, so this hasn't been fulfilled yet.
Oh, okay. Interesting. W girlfriend, exactly. By the way, she might be watching, so keep doing the W's.
Does he Jesus says when he's on the cross, at least in one of the versions, that it is finished, right?
He does say that.
Maybe that's what he meant until all has come to pass.
Right. It really depends, right? Because on like all the gospels say different things when it comes to what he said on the cross. I mean, like Matthew and Mark, they agree, and I think Luke and John also agree, but they're two completely different things. Pretty sure in John he says a little bit more on the cross than what he does in the other gospels. Like it's rough. And when it comes to John, when it says, I'm pretty sure it is in John. When he said it is finished, it's probably what John is trying to point out there is that he's trying to say that the accomplishment, like the lost sheep theology that he's always pushing, he's probably trying to fulfill that kind of like theological motivation he had throughout like kind of like the whole story.
We can swap over. Well, I kind of like this prompt. I want to keep this prompt. Never mind.
Yeah. We don't have to swap over to God is evil or anything. We can definitely do. this for a little bit. Have you had any good guests yet?
Actually, yeah, we had someone at 5 minutes into the stream chat. Lasted a good 10 minutes. We had a Sophie come in at 22 minutes. Last dude, MDef, was absolutely homophobic as fuck. It was fun. Also, flat earther, didn't believe gravity was real, etc.
Oh, Lord.
LTC was super open-minded Christian, which was the guy before you guys came up. Yeah, so we had like 3-4 good conversations.
Okay.
Gravity isn't real.
Also, clearly on the cross, Jesus said, "God damn guys, you gotta let me down. I'm gonna kick your ass when I get down there."
Okay, Eric.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Eric says when he's on the cross.
But yeah, when it comes to what Jesus said on the cross, at least when it comes to John and Luke, they have theological motivations. Mark and Matthew is where I don't really know. I think if anything, I take a weird view when it comes to the Gospels. I don't want to go into that for the sake of the audience. But just like quick little thing, if Jesus was real, when it comes to like Mark, I think what Mark says would be the most historically accurate. I give the Gospels a lot more credit than what most people do.
Yeah, I give them none.
Yeah, because you're a ball licker. See, I'm never
Want to
wrong.
find out?
I know Faye does.
Premise one: everything I say is true.
I reject.
Yeah. P1, Jaden is God. P2, Jaden exists. Therefore, Jaden is God.
that's
So
almost a structurally
close.
sound answer.
So close.
What's the inference rule at play here?
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be modus ponus.
Oh, that's not even a modus ponus. It's,
it's
not even a
not.
modus
So modus ponens is gonna be if P then Q, P therefore Q.
I know what modus ponus
Okay.
is. This is I'm fucking dude. I literally I
It's P then
studied
Q,
the inference
R
rules
therefore
and
S,
everything.
S therefore
I-
T, V.
I fucking no wait, dude, you've seen my arguments. If you haven't realized yet that I've taken so much time studying the fucking inference
You have.
rules and
You have.
with the fallacies and everything for these stupid ass arguments I make. Which I gotta say, the most recent one I sent you over on Discord, CT was able to respond to it.
God,
really
I love
well.
CT so fucking much. I think he's one of the few Christians in the Discord as well.
Yeah.
Premise one: it makes me feel bad.
Yeah, so guys, I think I'm capable of setting up a schedule consistently with 3 p.m. Central.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm able to do that now. I've gotten my shit pretty fucking. Life is slowing down a little bit. How is the good boy? Good boy.
I don't think either of the important coasts know what that means.
Oh God, Bun, you've been gone for a long time. We no longer have Odin, but I do have a cat.
Oh, wait, you never told me what happened to Odin.
Mother did not like him, so I had to rehome him.
Aww.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mother.
Yeah, but I got a kitty. We got a cat named Freya, a little kitten.
Oh, why do you name him Thor?
Her, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
My female cat's name is Loki.
Sorry, are you assuming the gender of your cat?
Oh.
There is no gender construct in the cultural significance of the animal kingdom. Get fucking mic dropped.
Then why come I can paint their nails?
Are you trying to imply that nail polish is gender specific?
No, It is
Oh.
not specific, but it is more common among specific genders.
Only in
In
Western
specific
society
cultures.
over the last 250 years.
Yeah, that's what I just said. In specific cultures.
God, I love it too. Like going outside all the time and like, I love these. I wish you guys could see them. I'm gonna have to post a picture on Discord.
Did you ever read my most recent argument, you bastard?
Let's take a gander. Is it a DM?
Yeah, no, it's on Discord.
Yeah, DM Discord. Yeah, no, I did not. Okay, D1 God. Precept God is an all good creator. One. Why? P1. If X is Y, then we would expect to X to create an all good world society. Okay, so if God is all good. So if God, okay, so D1 is God, presupposing that God is all good. Okay, if God is all good, then we would expect God to create an all good society. Correct. P1A, we would expect God to create an all good world society because an all good creator cannot be an all good creator if he does not create an all good creation. Fucking mic drop right there. There you go. C1. That was C1. P1B, supporting P1A. If we take an all good sandwich maker. and we ask them to make us a sandwich. We would expect an all good sandwich to be made. If they did not make an all good sandwich, then we would not call them a all good sandwich maker. The reason we would not call them an all good sandwich maker, since they failed the expectation of making an all good sandwich, valid. P2, if we see evil, bad things in the world society, then we can conclude the world society was not created by X if X is Y. P2A, from P1B, we have the expectation of what an all good creator is. So if an all good creator creates something, then we can conclude that X, if X is Y, that the world society was not created by X. P3, we see evil, bad things in the world. Therefore, X, if X is Y, then X did not create the world society. That's really good, actually. I think that's sound.
Yeah, fucking Catholic.
That's
I got his
gnarly.
response to it. I threw that together in 5 minutes.
Damn,
Definitely,
bro.
there's some things I'm gonna tweak around with it because of his response, and he actually responded to it not in the way that I expected.
Yeah, my only
because
critique is going to be towards the sandwich.
he was smart enough to realize that you have to either work internally from the sandwich or you're gonna have to destroy the sandwich analogy. And he was able to work with it internally. So I sent you over his response to it.
God doesn't create societies.
and
The world God created is good. We are sometimes in conflict with it. Oof.
And yeah, he stomped me there. He stomped me.
Yeah,
here.
he fucking
I'm gonna
roasted the
have
shit out of you
to-
there.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Damn.
gonna have to rework it to respond to this.
God
'cause
doesn't
this
create
is-
societies. We do. But we are... Actually, pause. Because all things happen in accordance to his plan and his will.
I think
Therefore, by us doing something evil, for instance, is a byproduct of his creating evil.
Well, I was because me and him were having a little bit of a debate beforehand because we were going over privation theory and I was bringing up some errors that I saw with it and we were kind of going back and forth with that. But the only reason that this is stumping me is that it's passing the expectation, right? Like this goal of this argument is supposed to prove that when we look at the world and if we're created by an all good creator, we have the expectation that things are going to be good. So when you look at his third point, it kind of throws that away, and that's where I am stumped because it's hitting the expectation that is needed.
I think the thing with CT is his hey Star, you can try and re-request, see if that'll work out. Got it. Okay, absolutely zero shade to CT. All his arguments are based on the presuppositions of his specific interpretation.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's necessarily like when you're looking at my argument, this is a good response, and I'm currently stumped on how to respond to it.
Sure.
I think the biggest thing that's stumping me
Well, let's put this on
is
pause real quick. Star, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually came up because of the conversation that you're having.
Awesome, awesome. Are you over the age of 18?
Yeah,
Okay, which God do you believe in?
Christian God.
Okay, cool, sweet. Did you want to add something real quick to Jaden's thoughts?
I wanted to hear his argument or like his
oh
issue with privation theory, and then
oh
also
okay.
with the argument he gives, I think there's like a false expectation as to, like what should be produced when all good God.
Yeah, sure. We can go over that. We didn't, at least the way that Catholic explained it to me. There seems to be this issue. I'll just go to where directly is what I said. So let me find that real quick.
Chat, while he's looking for that, chat said, prove there isn't a soul in the body. Dude, is that the Lud from TikTok? Lud, that would be your burden to prove.
Yeah, so basically what I kind of got from it, the way he explained it is that there seems to be that when they look at evil actions, people at least who hold to privation theory, um there's this like idea of grace and those on it. Like it seems to be very cold. I'll go to where he explained it and then just tell me, yeah, the suffering is a side effect but not the primary source because suffering can be good, but that's the focus of privation theory. Which he gives me a bigger summary, but this is where I started to take problems because I think suffering is more so interchangeable with the actual act that's being taken. Like the example he brought up was if somebody was to be murdered, we would call it evil based off the fact that it's removing the grace of life. Well, I wouldn't say that's the only reason, right? Like I would say if we were to kill like a pedophile, right? Like we're obviously not going to say that that act of removing one's life from a pedophile is exactly evil. What we
What's
could
the
say is
TikTok
evil.
terms of service word for that? I
Oh,
know that's a big
sorry.
one.
Sorry. Um,
I don't know. Is it
uh,
P3 something?
yeah, I'm just, yeah, I don't
Just say
remember.
PDF. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I brought, so the problem that I kind of noticed is that it seems to be that, but like I'm just gonna go back to what I was giving my rundown of. Kind of lost my train of thought there, but it seems to be that even because like it doesn't seem to be when we look at evil actions such as murder, it's not just the grace of life being taken. Like with the PDF example, seems to be that what we could still call evil is the suffering that may cause for like the family or the people around them, and other traumatizing things if somebody was to witness this murder. So it doesn't seem to be that it's just murder and the removance of grace of life. It seems to be suffering is playing a much bigger role within certain scenarios. So that's where my problem is
That's
that
still accounted
suffering.
for.
Right. He was able to account for it. But yeah, that's really how our conversation went. He responded to it. He stumped me with his response. He completely stumped me throughout this conversation. So, but that's just where my problem stemmed from in the beginning. And then he just got me stumped there.
Yeah. Because what is it called? We would say any action is going to be evil insofar as its effects cause a privation of good, or it removes some good that is due to this being. So, like, obviously, in this case, like you said, with Schmurda, life would be due to a human being, and then also we would be able to account for, like,
This is
the
going to be
suffering of the
like hugely
family.
problematic for your view, by the way.
You think it's problematic for me?
Yeah,
I don't
because
know.
if God is maximal goodness and maximal being, then God would prefer a universe
God
with
doesn't follow
maximal
at
beings
all.
in
I
it.
don't think God has. Yeah, I think God is going to be indifferent toward the effects of his act. Father Gonet says that like verbatim. I don't know why I'd be committed to what you're saying.
Is God maximal good?
Yeah. Define goodness, by the way.
Is good is good being existence?
Yes.
The equality? Right, so then the
Yeah, I will be
maximal amount
transcendent
of
plus.
things should be the case, right?
No,
God
that
should be
doesn't
the
follow
maximal
at
being.
all. He is the maximal being, but I don't see how that follows now that he has to extend that to creatures. First of all, it's impossible to. It's just contradictory to
No,
creatures
I'm
can't
saying
be,
like I'm saying
maximal goodness.
he would instantiate a world that would have the maximum amount of beings, and
Well,
that's
I
gonna
don't
be.
think that's a
I mean, he's
thing.
gonna have to.
I don't think that's a thing. That's just simply not a thing. I think all possible worlds are going to be equally good, but not only that, there is no like greatest possible world. Given that obviously God could always add a perfection. So I just think you need to understand how to judge a possible world and whether it's good or not. And then you just
So
seem to be confused on the willing.
so God's preventing possible worlds from existing, or what?
Obviously, yeah, by not causing them.
Ah, so he's not maximal being, is he?
That doesn't make him a
That's evil,
non-maximal
right?
being.
That's evil.
You're already,
You said
that's
that's
not
evil.
evil. That's not, wait, what? You think exist, wait,
Preventing
wait. Can
preventing
you tell me
something
the
from
difference
being.
between a lack? Can you
You
tell me
said
the difference
You said
between a
preventing
lack?
something.
Yeah, but I said by not causing it. Can you tell me the difference between a lack and a privation? Because I don't think you know it.
A lack is to not have. A privation is to prevent.
That's not the definition. Listen, a privation is going to be the lack of something that should be there, and a lack is just going to be an absence. These possible worlds don't have existence due to them. They only exist in virtue of them being caused. There's no, nothing owed, right? So I don't see how you're deriving that now it's going to be evil. Like, you're just confused.
I like preventing evil, or not preventing evil, but privation is not substantively different from preventing something. We describe the same
Yes,
thing.
it is.
How you could say
No,
I'm
it's definitely different.
to
Listen,
prevent something to happen
no,
is
it's
to
not.
prevent
We're
something that would have
equivocating.
happened
You're just
anyway.
equivocating on the term. Listen, you can prevent something that's not due. So, like, for example, I can prevent you from attaining knowledge of like divine truths. Now, that's not due to your intellect. The only thing that's due to you is like natural truths,
You
right?
can't prevent someone from something they weren't going to get. You can't
Okay,
prevent it
just
unless there
because
was a
you're gonna
pathway there.
just because you're gonna get it doesn't mean it's due to you. Do you understand what, like, whenever people in our paradigm say that, like, X is due to Y, we're talking about, in virtue of their nature, in virtue of their very dignity, this is something that's owed to them. We're not talking about, like, they would have had this, like, tomorrow, let's say somebody was going to have $1 million and then you stop them from getting the million. That's just not, like, evil. $1 million isn't due to the person.
Like, if somebody was going to get $1 million and you stop them, that's not preventing and privation.
That's not a privation, that's preventing. Yeah. You can say it's a lack, but it's not privation. Like, I don't see how you're showing me that it's due to this man that, he has $1 million.
A lack is merely a state of not having.
Okay, lack, yeah, state of not having, yes. Privation is a state where there's a lack of something that is supposed to be there. Now, whenever we're talking about supposed to be there, this is talking about given this thing's very nature, not just, any given circumstance.
I really don't understand the contention.
Yeah, I'm saying that you're equivocating. There's an equivocation on what, like, is due.
I'm not saying anything about what's being done. I'm saying what would have happened anyway.
Just
It's
because it would have
prevented.
happened anyway, that doesn't make it something that's due. What?
So something owed? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, something that's owed on account of the thing's very nature, yeah.
Are we owed God to act in His nature?
God does act in his nature.
I think it's problematic, but I don't have anywhere to go from here. I have to think about it more.
Okay, that's fine. Jaden.
Jaden, you there?
I don't know if you'd want to run the same argument, and then I could give you like another response, maybe.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, and then I'll or Cody, if you want to just read off the argument while I'm doing what I'm doing real quick.
Oh, sure. The one on Discord you sent.
Yeah. By the way, host,
Mhm.
you're a very chill compared to like a couple months ago.
Yeah, you're welcome, Star. You're very welcome.
Oh no, I still freak the fuck out on stupidity, but people
Yeah,
have
but like you're
been
actually
being
willing to
relaxed.
like, yeah, listen to like the philosophy stuff. Like you're actually
No,
no,
just
okay.
people have. So here's the problem. Starting out here, 99% of
Mhm.
every single person I had was a troll. Once I got rid of all the
Yeah,
trolls
that's
by
true.
blocking all of fucking KG and all the Philbro douchebags, now I have genuine conversations, so I'm able to be calm because it's not repetitive bullshit.
Yeah.
I still think that it's absolutely fucking stupid to think that because something's logically coherent, it actually exists. Here's Jaden's
Well, yeah,
argument.
obviously, yeah, I agree that's dumb.
It's a massive mouthful, so I'm gonna go premise by premise slowly
You're
and
good,
just
yeah.
tell me to stop if you don't agree, okay? Well, actually, I'll just read off the whole thing. It's really long. So you got D1, P1, P1A, P1B, P2, P2A, P3, and then C.
What's D?
Yeah, P1A and P1B are going to be justifiers for P1.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sure.
So his foundational behind it. Okay, so D1 is going to be God is X, and then we're going to have a Y, which is presupposing that God is an all good creator. So presupposing right off the bat. But P1, if
Well, I have that there for conversation's sake. So, like, if I were to actually try and run this argument, I'd ask that question first.
Sure.
But that's the presupposition that's being made within the argument.
I don't find it bad at all. I think that's a fair presup. I don't think it's fallacious at all, especially since it's in accordance with like the Abrahamic faith's God character. Sorry, I had a sneeze. Okay, so P1. If God is all good, then we would expect God to create an all good world society. P1A and P1B are the justifiers behind that. P1A, we would expect God to create an all good world / society because an all good creator cannot be an all good creator if he does not create an all good creation. P1B to support P1A. If we take an all good, do you know the sandwich maker analogy?
I can think of what it would be, but not exactly now.
Okay, I'll kind of speed through it. I think that
Yeah.
you understand it. If we take an all good sandwich maker and we ask them to make us a sandwich, we would expect an all good sandwich to be made. If they did not make an all good sandwich, then we would not call them an all good sandwich maker. The reason we would not call them an all good sandwich maker since they failed the expectation of making an all good sandwich. Simple.
Mm-hmm.
P2. If we see evil / bad things in the world / society, then we can conclude the world was not created by God if God is all good. P2A, from P1B sandwich analogy, we have the expectation of expectation of what an all good creator is. So if an all good creator creates something, then we can conclude that if X, with X being God, Y being all good, if X is Y, that the world society was not created by X. P3, we see evil, bad things in the world. Therefore, if X is Y, then X did not create the world.
Okay,
It's a lot, I know.
No, it's fine. I could already address it. First of all, I think the analogy is kind of meaningless,
Yeah,
given that I don't know what an all good sandwich would even mean.
right. That's my contention is like the pizza analogy.
That doesn't really make sense. And then also, I don't see why at all, whenever we say that, like God's act obviously is going to be all good. I don't see how that has to carry on to the effects and to how, there can't be any natural evil. Like I don't see that at all.
That's yeah.
Or how it can
So
have
the
an allowance
sandwich
for moral.
maker, the sandwich maker analogy is supposed to be kind of like arguing like in a way I'm baking a lot into the sandwich maker argument. Basically, if you grant the sandwich maker argument, then you're as well granting that God's properties, like all goodness, are transitive, so they would transfer from one thing to another. So I mean, like, you can ask the question, what does it even mean for like an all good sandwich or whatever? Like, I'm fine with questions like that. Would I be exactly able to like answer it? Probably not. Because, well, I don't know what all good would even be.
I could still grant it and just say it's not analogous. Like, what type of analogy are you using?
I don't even know if I agree with Jaden's sandwich maker analogy, but I think if you grant his analogy, then you have to grant the idea that an all good ability and capability, you're only going to do all good creation in that ability.
The reason I would disagree with it is because I just don't see like how you're gonna. I don't even know what type of analogy you're trying to use. I'm guessing it's an analogy of proportion, but I don't see how you could put that onto God.
Just based on the
given that, like, you know, how he relates to creation, given the way that his act works, like, I just don't really
I would
see the
say it's
analogy at all.
biblically sound as well, because like when God is creating, every time he creates something, he says this is good because he created it. So even
Yeah, of course,
biblically
it
it
would be
holds
good.
up. But
Well,
so
yeah.
the idea behind that is if everything exists because he created it and he can only create good, all things he create are only good, therefore evil cannot obtain.
Well, I don't see that because whenever it's talking about, you know, everything that he creates is good, obviously that's just talking about the very existence of the thing, the very fact that the thing exists. Yeah, like I would say that's good.
Right.
That's a interpretation.
And that's the kind of response that Catholic gave me. I personally don't have a response to it.
I have a response
but I mean,
to it.
like, well then, yeah, you can respond to it. I mean, like, the only thing when it comes to the sandwich maker analogy that I think when it comes to
Jaden, do you know the pizza analogy?
No.
Okay.
What the fuck was I? God damn it, you took me on my train of thought.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, my biggest problem when it, like, I mean, I guess like you can grant the sandwich maker thing. You just have to make the case that it's not however the fuck you say it. I can't. Yeah. Fuck. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, to God. Which I would like to actually hear that, because how Catholic responded to it, he responded internally, so he granted it and just internally critiqued it, and I sent you over his critique as well, Cody, if you haven't read that. But
yeah, I read it.
So,
oh my gosh, what do we have
I'm
here?
granting the analogy. I'm obviously assuming that it's an analogy of proportion, meaning that you're saying that X has a relation to Y, and that this relation is like similar to, like, you know, the relation that two other variables have to each other, right? That's what you're trying to say.
Well, what I'm really getting at within what I'm really getting at within the sandwich maker analogy is I'm basically saying that if God is all good, then we would expect him, when he creates, for that property of all good to transfer. And the sandwich maker argument is, well, analogy is supposed to be arguing from that.
What if
point.
we change the phrasing from all good to only good? You can, if you're only good, you can only make good things. I think that'd be a lot more analogous.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see
you're
where
applying
God
all
creates
good
like
to
that,
the wrong
though.
thing. I think like the all goodness of God in this point, or being the perfect sandwich maker, or whatever you want, means that like whatever he wants to achieve with the sandwich is achieved. It doesn't mean that the sandwich necessarily is good.
I'd say that's an interpretation of difference.
Holy smokes, listen up, buddy. You don't think that souls exist, huh?
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, yes or no? You don't think
exist.
souls exist, yes or no, huh?
Nope.
Yeah, so
Oh,
if I were to beat the living shit out of you, then what, huh?
I would die or be
That would,
hospitalized.
that would still not
Alright.
be a demonstration of a soul.
Okay, alright.
all right, cool. Is that all you wanted?
You
That's
can
all I
catch me
got for
outside
now.
though. How about that?
Oh, dude, buddy, I'll beat the fucking shit. You don't even know.
What's your
You're
weight
a little
class?
atheist liberal. You're a little liberal atheist. I
I'm
can
actually
tell I
not a
beat the
liberal.
fuck.
I'm a
This is what they do,
socialist
folks.
Democrat.
Oh, you're a socialist
This is what
Democrat.
they
So
do.
what, you're a communist?
This is what they
You're
do,
a
Oh
folks.
fuck yeah,
communist?
I love communism.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. I would never let a communist get close to me. You'd infect me with some disease, some bacteria.
Oh no, yeah, I'd probably get some paint on you.
You
Your
guys
ho-
are pussies. Yeah, when was the last time you ever had sex, huh?
Well, that's for me to
2
know
days
and you
ago.
to find out
See your mom
tomorrow.
No, you didn't, bro. You're a virgin. You didn't have sex 2 days ago. Maybe with your own fucking hand, you little bitch.
Your mom liked it when I used my hand.
Dude, your mom jokes in 2026, bro. How old are you? I was doing that when I was in elementary school. You're not that funny.
I'm gonna
Think of
beat you
something
jokes
else,
in
you fucking pussy.
2026. You're not big.
Oh,
Think of something else.
I'm gonna beat you jokes. You think that was a joke, huh?
I
That
mean,
was a
shut
threat.
up if you wish.
That was a threat, buddy.
Sure, it's not really
Listen,
a
if
threat.
I ever see you at one of your libertarian coffee shops, I would smack you fucking silly, bitch.
I would love for that to happen.
I know you go to those coffee shops too. Probably the coffee shops with the bookshelves and the pride flags. Oh, I
Oh,
can
absolutely,
already tell.
absolutely.
Easy money.
Yeah, okay.
Easy
Go ahead,
money.
keep debating. I'll let you know when you're wrong again.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. I thought being a virgin was a good thing for Christians.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in the mood for all that. But Catholic, what we were discussing, we were discussing the argument that I made in like 2 minutes that I sent over to you, your response to it, and a little bit of privation theory. But yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Hey,
to
I'm so
catch you
sorry.
up.
I'm gonna pause you right there. I gotta defend CT here real quick. Sensei, Catholic, first and foremost, is not a grifter. Google the definition of grifter. Second and foremost, even atheists, Christians, Catholics, Muslims, Mormons, Jews, Hindus, Buddhists, etc., 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 all have different interpretations, different justifications for the way that they think. They all talk to each other. Those of similar beliefs still critique each other. There is nothing biblically wrong for a CT to critique another Christian or to critique a Catholic or to critique an atheist. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So take your bullshit crying somewhere else.
I mean, one of my favorite stories regarding Anselm's argument. So he starts off with, in his meditations leading up to the argument, meditating on one of the passages in the book of Psalms where David says, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God." And then there is a fellow monk, so a fellow Catholic believer, writes back to him in a paper titled "In Defense of the Fool," which is the parody argument, of like he used the perfect island. But like, oh, if I think of a perfect taco, does that mean that the perfect
Right.
taco exists? But it was a fellow Catholic that was arguing against Anselm. Catholics, like when you look into Catholic theology's history, we love arguing with each other.
Yeah.
Well, like, to even be honest, I argue more so with atheists than what I really fucking do theist at this point. Like I'm so
That's so
serious.
relatable.
Some of these atheists just they need to take a second to read and to learn a little bit, because god damn, some of them are slow.
Dude, I
mean,
know. I
contrast-
hear so much about this low tier evidence first loser. Like, he's such a fucking low tier. He just receives rhetorical backshots from everyone he talks to. Fucking pathetic. Just give up.
But Star,
Hey, what's wrong with a couple back shots here and there, dude?
Facts. Good point. You win. I succeed.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it.
But Star, so I wasn't here when, like, because what's your problem? How would you respond to the sandwich
Ian
maker?
Raiders. I'm sorry.
Ian Raiders, what? And
The Bible guy raid? Aw, Ian, Dalton, I
No,
love you guys.
Ian just finished his stream and I saw y'all were live, so I came over. I don't know if
I see
Ian
what
made
you're
a
saying.
comment or raid.
Gotcha.
Bible guy raid. Yeah, no, there's
but
definitely a Bible guy raid though.
Holy
Love you,
shit.
Dalton. All shout outs to Dalton.
I haven't spoken to Dalton in a while.
I
Man,
haven't
I gotta
either.
stop back over.
He's been fucking hustling. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, dude. I stopped in his live today. Was watching. He had over 100 viewers, dude. He's
Oh my God,
fucking
yeah.
cooking it up in the kitchen.
God, he's fucking
Were you
beautiful.
debating Ian Catholic?
I was in his queue box.
Mhm.
They ended it before I could come up, but it wasn't going to be on the God question. They have a view on justice that I wanted to challenge.
Well, did
and
we want to go back to Star's idea?
Yeah.
I'm so
I
sorry
could-
for us
Oh yeah,
pivoting.
just
You're good,
real
you're
quick
good.
as well. I gotta yell at Cody real quick. Cody, how dare you not talk about moral realism and not bring up my fucking argument? How dare you?
You have an argument
fucking
for or
dare you.
against?
For it, I'm a moral realist.
I have nothing against moral realism.
Yeah, but then you brought up Ian's stupid ass argument that doesn't even cash out mind independency or stance independency.
Ian converted fucking Matt Dillahunty, dude. If you can get Matt Dillahunty to accept
Because
something,
Ian, dude, it's
that's
because Ian
fucking
gets-
legendary.
He gets so much credit for his arguments every single time, but when you really look at it, where
Are you shit talking Ian right now?
Yes,
Ian
I am.
makes wait, just to be clear, you guys are talking about the Ian with like the seafood in his name, right?
Yeah, allegedly Ian.
the crabs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah. His arguments against divine simplicity are so bad.
Not really.
Anyways, let's go back to Star's
Yeah,
discussion.
let's-
I don't want to shit talk
Okay,
Ian.
yeah,
I
there
love Ian.
definitely is an Ian raid. Yeah, there's an Ian raid. So I guess he may
I
have
wonder
sent
if I
us a...
caused it because Ian's main admin follows me, and she actually jumped in when Liam and I were arguing.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
Well, welcome in, guys. Appreciate you all being here. Currently, we're discussing with CT, obviously, the fucking GOAT and Star. Go for it, guys.
And Benjamin. Benjamin all the way up there.
And Daddy Benjamin.
What up, guys?
So Star, what was your critique of the sandwich maker analogy?
Yeah. So I said two things. I said firstly that the analogy just becomes meaningless. And then my second response was that like even if I grant it to have meaning, I don't think there's an analogy of proportion to how God relates to creation.
Can you go a little bit more in depth on that? Because I'm not
Which part?
quite sure the second part. Because I'm not quite sure I'm understanding what you mean. By there's like, are you trying to say that there's no analogy that can ever reach God's extent of creation?
No. Well, no,
Right,
I
like-
do think there are. Every time we speak of God, we speak by analogy, either
Right.
proportionate or we speak of God by analogy of attribution. So I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm disagreeing with is that there's the same relation of like the sandwich maker to the sandwich that there is of God to his creation. First of all, I also don't think it's even possible for there to be an all good creature. That's just not possible, given that it would have to be pure act.
Wait, what do you mean you don't think that there could ever be an all good creature? Right, like that seems to.
So he's injecting like creatureness to the sandwich maker.
Yeah. Like the sandwich maker within the analogy is God. The sandwich is the people, right? Like that. Like I said, I'm baking a lot into that analogy.
Yeah, I'm just saying that that's fine. Even then, it's not possible for there to even be a perfect creation, an all good creation. Given
Well,
that
then-
creation can't be pure act.
So just real quick, Star, I get what you're saying, but you're equivocating terms accidentally here a bit. So there is a difference between omnibenevolent and full of goodness or all good. So the reason why I'm coming in to try to clarify is because I know what you mean when you're saying all good. You're really referring to omnibenevolent as the attribute of God and a quote unquote
Yeah, it's just a translation. Yeah.
yeah, a side effect of his perfection and his limitless nature. what Cody, Jaden, and everyone else, a lot of people who aren't as familiar with the language, are hearing when you say all good. A thing that is as good as it possibly can be, and you're saying that everything that exists has some lack of good inherent within it, or some evil that is inherent with it. When what you're just trying to say is like, hey, there
Well, no,
is an
every
infinite
creature has a lack of good. That's just
well, they have limitations, and so they have a. It's not that they have a lack of good, because what a lack of good would be is if I fill a cup to the
no,
brim with water, I have it full of water, but it doesn't have infinite water. It's not.
no, it would still be a lack. Listen, you
Well,
would agree that like no, it would still
there's
be a
a
lack. A lack is just going
there's
to be
a
an absence. You would agree that like creatures lack, like some perfection acts, whatever it might be.
so they are limited. There's a difference between a lack and a limitation. That's the point that I'm
That's
making.
a limitation is a lack. It's just in the very mode of this thing's subsistence.
So if I have a pitcher and I fill it with water, it is impossible to be more full. Does it lack fullness?
Why would it lack fullness?
That's
It
what
can
I'm
lack.
asking.
It's gonna lack other things, yeah.
Well,
It
but
can lack
that's
other
what
perfection.
that's what I'm asking you. Does it lack fullness, or is
If
it
it's
as
full,
full? Yeah, it's as filled to capacity to the point where it is on the brink of overflowing. Does it lack fullness?
it wouldn't lack fullness because fullness is
Okay,
something in relation to its capacity. That's not just
correct.
talking about good.
And that is what
Creatures.
goodness is. That is
No,
what goodness is.
that's not what goodness is going to be. That which all things desire. That's what St. Thomas says.
Actually, St. Thomas Aquinas talks about the God as the end, and him as our end.
Yeah, God is going to be
that
the primary object which all things are directed toward. Yeah, no,
correct?
that's
But
not related.
however, he also states. So I'm glad that you brought up Aquinas, because now I get to go into like the divine simplicity and everything else. The thing in regards to God's goodness, you cannot equivocate human goodness onto what is meant by the goodness of God, because
You're using equivocation wrong. Equivocation is whenever you use something that's completely different.
Exactly.
You said you can't equivocate human goodness with God's goodness.
Correct. That is exactly what Thomas Aquinas claims.
Yeah, we speak by analogy. I understand that. That's an analogy.
Yeah, and you said I'm using equivocation wrong, but he literally says in the Summa that you can't equivocate what we mean by human goodness onto divine goodness.
Well, here's the thing. Human goodness is going to be equivocated from divine goodness, but just goodness implicator as existing in both. That's what we say there's an analogy of proportion to. Because...
But what you're talking about is in the created thing, so in the sandwich. So in the sandwich, it is limited. It is finite.
That's fine. It still lacks perfections. So, like, for example...
So are you familiar with negative theology?
Yes, I understand that. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever we're talking about God's perfection, what we're pointing to is a lack of a limit. So what we're doing is, like, when we say that God is infinite, when you break it down, is not finite. When we say that God is timeless, that is not in time. When we say that God is immaterial, that's not material. So
we can still make cataphatic statements about God.
Not according to Thomas Aquinas. In fact,
no, St. Thomas wouldn't agree with that. You do understand that like a double negation is just a cataphatic statement, right?
I didn't make a double negative statement. I made a singular...
No, I'm saying you can make a double negative statement. That's apophatic. But obviously, whenever you reduce it, you can translate it into like a cataphatic statement. Not only that, but we do speak of God... Listen, we do speak of God cataphatically whenever we speak of him by analogy.
Right, but analogy is not a literal statement. That's my point.
Okay, wait. I don't think you understand how an analogy works.
Are you saying
So
that God is composed of parts? Because in order to say that God,
no,
then
that
okay,
doesn't follow at all. Listen,
that's what the negative
no, it's
theology is getting
not.
at.
Father Cajetan and Saint John of Saint Thomas literally talk about this. Whenever we speak of God being good, for example, we're gonna say that there's gonna be an analogy of attribution. So, like for example, creatures can be said that they're good in relation to God, and then we can
Mm-hmm.
also say that there's an analogy of proportion where
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna strip, our concept of good of all limitation, and then we apply it to God. That's speaking
So okay,
cataphatically. It's just by
so hang on,
analogy.
sorry, that you just said my point. Strip of all limitations. We didn't strip a lack. So my question was, if you have a
You
picture
can't.
that is
Wait, what are you
what,
talking about stripping a lack? I never brought that up.
but that you said that there is a lack of goodness in creation, and I'm saying
Yes,
no.
there's a lack of good. Like, listen, a lack is just an absence of
Will you let me
something.
finish? Will
If
you let
there's a
me finish?
perfection that creation doesn't have, that's a lack. It's just absent there.
Let
It doesn't
no.
mean that it's due.
Let me finish. Let me finish. So
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
God created Adam and Eve, and they had the fullness of grace, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so they were as perfectly human as it is possible to be, correct?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, but sure.
Well, no. So you're saying that they were not perfectly human before the fall?
No, I'm not saying they weren't perfectly human. I'm saying that they're not like the greatest human that can be.
Why not? What did
Because
they?
God, listen, they're going to be in a supernatural state. You agree? Prior to the fall?
Yeah,
Given God's like
they had the
supernatural
preacher.
compassion.
They had preternatural graces. Yes.
Okay, perfect. You do agree that God could give them more graces and elevate them even higher, yes?
No, because the preternatural graces was
So you don't think God
everything.
could have, for example, given them the beatific vision? That would
The
automatically
beatific,
make them greater.
the beatific vision is not a grace. The beatific
You
vision
don't think the
is
beatific vision's a grace?
it is being in the presence of God, and
Yeah,
Adam and Eve
listen, a
walked
grace
in
is
the
just going to be a gift that's freely given.
Adam and
Vision
Eve
of
walked.
God, direct vision of God is a gift that's freely given to creatures.
Adam and Eve. It says that Adam and Eve were able to walk with God in the garden.
Okay, yeah, through a theophany.
So even
It's a
then,
theophany because they weren't in heaven.
did they
You can't
die?
have the divine. You can't have
Would they
the
be able to die?
beatific vision on earth.
Would they be able to die before the fall?
Prior to the fall, no.
Okay, so then how would they achieve the beatific vision if they never died?
You don't have to die to achieve the beatific vision. They
So
could just be given a
them walking
glorified
in the
body. I don't see how that. And also, whenever we say they
Okay.
can't die, it's not to say that God couldn't make it such. We're saying that they have immortality.
So you are saying
God could obviously
then that they
separate their soul and
never.
their body if He wants to, even if they're
Well,
in this perfect
no, that was
supernatural
never
state.
that was never the intention to separate the soul from the body. The
Well, that's
separation of
what
the soul
death
from the
is.
body is from the fall. Exactly.
No, but
So
God could still wait. God could still do that even though they're in a supernatural state. There's no contradiction with that.
that's contrary to His will.
How is that contrary to His will?
Because the fall, if the consequence of the fall is the
Wait, by
separation
the way,
of
we're
the soul
talking about a
from the
possible
body.
world. We're not talking about like this. Since we're speaking hypothetically, I don't know how you could show me that it's contrary to His will. In order to show me that, you have to say that it's going to be contrary to like the primary object,
So when
such that it
God
can't terminate as an effect.
yeah, are you saying that God can both desire A and not A?
Obviously not. We're talking about another
Okay,
possible
so
world.
hold on. So God desired a creature that
Oh
was
my God.
body and soul, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you are saying that it is possible for God to desire a creature that was
Wait,
body
also,
and
by
soul
the way,
and not body and
just
soul.
to be very clear, I'd switch the word desire. God doesn't desire secondary objects.
That was the word you used, but
I just allowed you to use it. I didn't say
no,
desire. You used desire.
So
I just went along with it at the beginning.
So
I'm just saying for clarification.
the point is, when you look at Catholic literature and Catholic theology, they do not say that God created creation with a lack of goodness. He created
That's not true at all. St. Thomas
Show
makes
me.
this distinction. Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah, listen, whenever St. Thomas or Father
No.
Grenier, for example,
So bring up the actual text. Show me
yeah,
where it
okay,
says that
here, listen, you could
he
pull
created
up,
them with
yeah,
a
yeah.
lack.
Here, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about something that can be inferred from the text, just given the very definitions.
No,
It's an
no,
analytic truth.
No,
It's an
hold
analytic
on.
truth that's derived from the text. I don't know why you're spurging.
Star. I said that the text states. I'm talking about the plain black and white text.
It's something that the text states implicitly. It's obviously derived.
So then what you said was incorrect because you said
No,
that this
it's not
is
incorrect. It is within the text. You just have to, use your natural reason. Listen, if we define a lack, if we define a lack as simply an absence, meaning just that the thing isn't there, and obviously we would agree that creation lacks perfections, or there is an absence of certain perfections within creation, given that this perfection isn't due, then obviously we would say that there's a lack of a perfection. If there's a lack of a perfection, there's a lack of a good, because a perfection is something that's good.
Because if
do you want me to just syllogize it and then you reject the premise because you're getting confused?
No, I'm telling you right now. According to telos, if man has achieved its full perfect end, and
do you know what the full perfect end of man is? Because Adam and Eve didn't have it. The telos of the telos of man is going to be to participate in the beatific vision with God and have eternity.
And it's to be in union with God.
Not just union simply, or else I would have already achieved my telos. It's
I didn't know you were in perfect union with God right now.
Just define perfect union.
Let's see.
Because anything less than the beatific vision wouldn't be a perfect union. Also,
when was the last?
Given that within Catholic scholasticism, we're gonna say that even St. Thomas talks about it in the Summa. I could pull it up. He talks about how different people are gonna apprehend God in like a greater or lesser manner.
Yeah.
Then it means that obviously the telos isn't gonna be like the greatest apprehension of God, but simply apprehension of him in the beatific vision.
So hold on. 1 moment. You said that Thomas Aquinas said that in heaven, people will have different degrees of apprehension of the beatific vision, correct?
Of the divine essence.
Yeah. Okay, so they would have different degrees, and yet they're all fully happy, right? And they all have achieved full goodness, right?
They've achieved full goodness, yeah.
But hold on. You said a lack is defined by an absence, yet you have someone who has less of a degree than another person, but by that definition, there's a lack of a goodness then.
There is. Full goodness is in reference to God, not in reference to the creature. I don't know why you're switching what I'm saying.
You just said that they are fully good.
No, I didn't say that they... Wait. I didn't say that they are full... Wait. That's not what I said. I said they achieved full goodness, and this is in relation to God. Given that they're achieving the beatific vision, God is fully good. I'm saying in relation to God, not in relation to themselves. You're confusing it.
No, I am giving the words right back to you.
Yeah, I'm saying you're confusing the relation. I'm saying it's in relation to God, not themselves.
But you said if there was a limit...
You're getting mixed up on how I'm using fully good and what I'm...
because I'm trying to help you clarify it because you're moving between...
No. Here, listen. Let me just show you Father Grenier because you're confused. It's fine.
Also,
genuinely, it's fine.
Like, if you adopted our worldview, you think that goodness is only meaningful in relation to God?
Yeah, of course.
No, not you. I was asking Catholic if they adopted the worldview just for the sake of the conversation.
He would have to. That's just the Catholic position.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying Star is misrepresenting the Catholic position. What I'm saying is that when God created creation, all right, so let me put it to you like this. You have a ruler, and a ruler is a foot, correct?
Are you talking to me?
I'm pulling a ruler is a foot, correct?
A what?
A ruler is a foot. It's 12 inches.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, a foot. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So a ruler having 12 inches, and I give you that ruler, is it fully a ruler? Is it lacking in its ability to measure 12 inches?
I mean, our ruler is finite by the nature, so I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, but that's my whole point. Is there
That's
is a
still a
difference between
lack. It's just
limit?
not a
There,
privation. A limit implies a lack. Do you not
no,
listen?
no,
A
no. That's
lack.
in
Wait,
Catholic.
no, because you're not
That's what I
understanding
was
that it just
saying.
follows analytically. Listen, by
Star,
definition, a
that
lack
star,
is just whenever something isn't there. Okay, it's just whenever something
star,
isn't there.
star.
If
That
you
is what
have
I was
some
trying to get
perfection
at.
which is just not present in the creature, that means that it lacks it. It's just not there. I'm not
You're
saying that it's
using.
supposed to be there. It's just to say
That's
that
the
it's not
messy.
there.
That's the messy theology that I was trying to get at.
That's not messy theology.
Yet,
It's just by the very definition of the word.
no, that there is a
What do you mean
difference
no?
between.
What do you mean no? Listen,
There's
can you tell me the distinction made by the Thomists on privation versus lack?
yes, because
Okay, what's a
privation,
lack? Give me the exhaustive definition.
a lack is the absence of something that is supposed to be there.
You said that's a lack?
That's what a lack is.
That's
Is the
not a
absence
lack. That's a privation.
Privation theory is talking about the lack.
Of
Those are the
something that
interchangeable
should
terms.
be there. That's the definition of a privation, not the definition of lack.
Limit is just talking about boundaries, the finiteness.
Yes, and that implies that it lacks something external to its limit already. That implies a lack.
So
you're confusing privation and lack. This is your issue.
I asked you to show me where Thomas Aquinas equates lack or
He doesn't equate
and
lack and privation.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. You're bringing that into the question.
Show me.
What do you mean? You're the one that made the positive claim. You're claiming that he equates them. In order for me to show you that he doesn't equate them, I just present to you every single writing of his, and then you can go through it. Like what? You made the positive claim that he equates on it. Show me. Because there's an equivocation between lack and privation.
So when are we meant to be made with original sin?
No.
Okay, so that's a lack, right? It is us lacking grace. Correct?
No, it's not just a lack. Yes, it is, but it's not just a lack.
Because we're supposed to have grace, correct?
Well, first of all, no. Grace is, by definition, the Salamancans and the Carmelites, whenever you read them, they literally define grace as a gift that's freely given. If it's freely given, it means it's not owed to the creature. If it's not owed to the creature...
Owed. I never said it was owed.
Okay, then why are you saying we're supposed to have it? That's
because that was God's
that
intention. That was God's intention.
So, wait,
are you
first
saying
of all,
that,
you're talking about, wait, we're just talking about human simplicator. We're not talking about given the divine will, because then now you're just entailing by supposition, which doesn't help you at all.
That's been the conversation was about the sandwich maker to the sandwich. You were talking about the difference.
Yeah, here's the thing. The conversation moved from that to just
I've stated
lack.
that.
What a lack is versus what a privation is.
No, within that conversation, I was trying to help you explain your issue with the sandwich maker to people who are not familiar with that language. And you just
I already explained to them the difference between a lack and a privation. I already gave them the critique. I showed them how.
Was that clear to you on when he was saying that that God would make things with a lack of goodness? Did it sound like he was saying that he made things as fully good as they were, but they just weren't like God? Or did it sound more like he was saying that when God creates something, he creates them with a little bit of evil?
Right, also, even then, fully good, I just still disagree with that. If you mean that this thing has all the, all good that it can have, I also disagree with that. God doesn't create like that.
Catholic, what do you think a privation is? How are you using it?
Like I said, privation is when you have something that is supposed to be there.
Okay.
And it's removed.
Okay. And then what'd you say was your exhaustive definition of a lack?
Lack and privation are describing the same phenomena.
So
privation is the act of creating the lack. And
what?
Lack is the
privation isn't an act.
Yeah,
so what is sin?
Okay, listen, sin isn't Okay, first of all, sin is going to be an improper usage. Father Gonnet says this verbatim, quoting Augustine. Sin is just going to be a defect of freedom. It's going to be an improper usage of freedom, an imperfect
Yeah,
usage, right?
it's an and
Now,
what is an improper defect?
okay, listen, the imperfection itself is going to be what's the privation, not the act. The act is still good in virtue of it existing.
So you are saying that sin is a good.
Sin doesn't exist. Sin is a defect. I just told you it's an imperfect usage of freedom.
So when someone sins, is that an act?
The act itself is good, yes. The effects of the act are bad, given that they cause privations.
I would recommend looking into privation theory a
Yeah, you're
little
just
bit more.
confused. Listen, do you know what the transcendentals are?
You mean like logic, reason,
No, that's
beauty?
not, those aren't no. I'm talking about like within metaphysics, the things which are prior to any genus.
Yeah. So, like I said, are
It's
you talking about
being,
like?
listen, it's being, goodness, truth, and unity. Okay? These
Okay.
four are going to be convertible because they're transcendental. Okay? So wherever there's good or where there's being, okay, they're the same thing considered under a different formality. So whenever an act exists, the existence of the act is good. That just follows, unless you're, like rejecting the paradigm.
That's
I
Aristotelian.
mean,
That is Aristotle verbatim.
okay. And when I was saying that, is sin good?
Sin is a privation. It's not an act. I
In-
just told you it's an imperfect usage
Is
of freedom.
okay. Okay.
The imperfection
When
is
I
sin.
am I doing an act? Is sin describing an act?
Sin is describing the imperfect usage of the act.
Okay. Okay. And an imperfect usage is what? Is it less than the perfect usage?
Obviously, yeah, it's a
Okay.
privation.
And should we be doing the perfect usage?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a mode of the thing, though. That's
So
what you're not getting.
when I was saying privation is the act, that's what I'm describing.
Privation is no. Even then, you're confusing it. Listen,
Wait
a
minute.
privation by its very definition is a lack of something that should be there.
Oh,
If it's a
hang on. I
lack
thought
of
you said
something that
privation.
should
I
be
thought you
there,
said privation and lax weren't the same.
they're not the same. That's why I stipulated a lack of something that should be there. I'm adding something because saying lack would just be, in your view, would just be
if
giving you a
lack,
synonym.
but if lack,
Lack is an absence, bro. You're saying that I'm being circular if I'm saying they're the
okay,
same, but I obviously am not
and
saying that they're same given that I added a stipulation.
and an absence,
Lack and
Does
an
an
absence are the
absence
same thing.
and an absence. For an absence, is it describing something that doesn't exist, or is it describing something that should exist but doesn't?
Absence is just describing something that doesn't exist. It's saying that the thing isn't present.
No, because nothingness
What do you
doesn't
mean no?
exist. But
Wait, listen, host. Do you lack $1 million right now?
He's thinking, bro.
Do you lack $1 million? Let's be honest, right? Like, let's just use the language how we would, right? You lack $1 million. You don't have it. It's not saying that the thing is owed to you. It's just saying you don't have it, right? Like you lack, for example, the skills to become a UFC champion. That doesn't mean it's owed to you. Nowhere do they equate on lack and privation.
are you familiar with Heidegger's metaphysics and how nothingness doesn't
Heidegger
exist, but it
is a bum. I don't care about Heidegger.
I mean, that's just ad hominem at that point, but okay.
No, you could give me his philosophy. We'll put it contrary to the scholastics, and then we'll just argue it. It's fine. I'm giving you like the scholastic position from the Catholic Church.
Does nothingness have being?
No.
Okay, so nothingness isn't an absence because an absence is describing being versus the lack of that particular being. But if there is
No
obviously nothing
being-
itself isn't an absence. The only way, first of all, also the only way you could even say nothing is a being is given that you're
would
talking
be a
about how like an
contradiction.
affirmative proposition.
I said nothing.
No, it wouldn't be.
I said
Wait, first of all, it wouldn't
Noth-
be. St. Thomas talks about it in De Ente. He says that privations can be called beings insofar as an affirmative proposition can be made about them. Right? Father Grenier talks about the same thing within Thomistic metaphysics.
that's not a nothing.
Oh
I'm
my
not-
god.
I agree. Like just like how we can talk about darkness as a being, darkness is not nothing.
Even then, nothing, you can make an affirmative proposition about nothing. That qualifies it as a being. We're just using the copula we're taking it as the verb to
So
be.
we're saying non-being
it's that
has
simple.
being.
I mean, we're equivocating on the way we're saying it doesn't have being. Yeah. There's obviously an equivocation.
That's my point, is I'm trying not to equivocate it. I'm speaking as literally and analytically as possible.
Would it help
Well,
if I
no,
read the
you can still be
definition?
speaking literally and be using like another meaning of the term.
How is he using nothingness?
Nothing. I mean, I'm guessing he's just literally talking about like something that
Non-being.
isn't there.
Non-being?
No, it's more than just it's more than just something that isn't there. It is non-being.
So those two just reduce to each
Well,
other. You get that, right?
You know, I do want to ask. I think where the biggest disconnect is happening is just in these definitions. Like, it just seems to be purely semantics that we're going around in here. So if like,
It's even worse
Cody, if you
than
could like
that.
pull up
It's
the
like super internal critiquing of the semantic of the word
Yeah.
inside of the definition of the word's
Yeah.
definition. Like this is like
I mean,
the most
this is a good
meta
conversation though. It's a good
So
conversation.
okay, here's
Um,
because you guys seem to both understand the definition, but I'm going to read it nonetheless. Privation, Oxford
Yeah.
Dictionary, is a state in which things that are essential for human well-being, such as food and warmth, are scarce or lacking. You guys seem to be arguing more the semantics of the lacking within the definition.
Wait, that's fine. Given that the dictionary isn't being circular, it can't be using the word lacking, right? If it's equated. But even then, the dictionary doesn't really matter because we're talking about within the scholastics. They
Well, yeah,
obviously
that's what I
use
was saying. Is
definitions
you guys are
different.
doing a semantical discussion
Yeah.
inside internal critique of the word.
But he did say that St. Thomas equated the two. I want to see where he does that because he doesn't.
Catholic, that was directed towards you.
Yeah.
I can look it up as well. What was the other word?
I'm getting something to look it up, so I'm.
Yeah. Cody's got you, Catholic.
So lack of versus privation, correct?
Yeah. Put like within Catholic scholasticism. It should pop up. Like I could look it up too.
Academia in Catholicism.
Yeah.
Isn't the lack just like basically the absence of a perfection?
Yeah. That's what I would say it is, yeah.
And then privation is just going to be what, like the absence of a perfection that belongs to a thing?
That should be there. If you mean that by belong, yeah.
That sounds accurate to me, but I also hear the other argument.
Because here's the thing, we could also just go by like everyday speech and see which one is more likely the case. Like you would agree that you lack the knowledge of like lambda calculus, for example. Like
I don't know about that. I could be all
lack
wrong.
the knowledge. All right.
Okay, just a suggestion as well. Let's try and get like the philosophical definitions for these words, because dictionary, well, it's not really focused
Yeah,
on
no, I'm
philosophical
bringing up the semantic of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is going to be in accordance with. I don't like that. That's a bad source. What about Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy?
Yeah, that should be good. Catholic, and you're gonna get a problem with that?
It depends where it's taking from, because I know
Sure.
it takes a lot from continental philosophy, which I don't really know.
Oopsie. All right. So lack of synonyms, Jesus fuck, is going to be scarcity, which is limited supply of something. Shortage indicates a lack of, which, I mean, that's begging the question. Paucity suggests a small amount, or again, begging the question, a lack of something. lack, a direct synonym of lack of. Void implies a complete absence of something. So these are all synonyms for it. So it seems to be either
Which is different from limit was the point that I was getting at. My point was that lack of, privation, absence are all interchangeable, but they are pointing to a different thing from limits. So my point was, by saying that there is a
I
lack
never
of
said
goodness,
limit and lack are the same thing. I said that a limit implies a lack.
So it seems to be that lack of is going to be literally just missing something in there, whereas privation is going to be missing said thing that should be there.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what I'm going to have my concession on here. That's University of Cincinnati, Linguistics Guide, and philosophy of, what did I say?
Catholic philosophy?
Fuck. No, it was
Scholastic, continental.
I fucking accidentally exited out of it.
Right, so you couldn't say like like a human being lacking sight has an absence; it'd be a privation because obviously humans are like So what is Catholic saying? They're interchangeable, so absence can be used for like if a person doesn't have sight. You just say that they have an absence of vision.
It does seem semantically interchangeable.
yeah,
though.
no,
I mean, you
yeah,
can
no,
say that they would have a lack of
that's
vision.
literally one of his
Privation.
examples from in the Summa is the privation of sight is called blindness. Summa Theologica 148.3.
Which would be a
That's
privation.
fine. Listen, all privations are lacks. Not all lacks are privations.
Yeah.
He's using absence on a broad scale, dude. It's a broad scale use of it.
St. Thomas also never equates them. I'm still waiting to see that.
Yeah, so hang on.
He doesn't equate them. No, he does not do that.
I'll look him up.
No. That I was trying to. So he literally talks about the privation of sight or lack of sight as blindness, and then
So
but he distinguishes.
That's
them.
obviously already assuming that sight is due to the being. That's fine. Like I would say that too. I could say the same exact thing.
So hold on. So privation, according to Phil Papers, refers to the act of loss, lack, or total absence of basic necessities or qualities that a subject naturally requires. Limit, on the other hand, and this was the point I was trying to make.
Never said that they were the same thing. I said that a limit implies a lack.
On the other hand, refers to a fixed boundary, extent, or restriction on the capacity or magnitude of something, not a lack. Lack is not used in limit.
Oh my god.
But
no,
lack
listen,
is used
if
in
you're
privation.
if you're limited, then you lack the possession of things external to your limit. And even then, we don't even have to get into that. First of all, it's a supernatural grace from God's infinite mercy and compassion that Adam and Eve were created in a supernatural state. They could have been created in a manner where there's just in a natural state, and obviously given that their body is composed of contrary elements, they would just have, like natural death and hell. Like that's not, even then, we could just say that and still it's possible that they lack something.
I think I'm going to agree with CT on this one. I do have Aquinas's privation versus lacking up.
And like I don't know why people want to assume that they would not have died in Eden. It's never stated in there.
St. Augustine says that was one of their preternatural gifts, was the gift of immortality.
Yeah, that's supernatural stuff though.
Yo, Star, who's your all? Did you debate that Muslim guy the other day?
Yakub?
Oh yeah, Yakub. That was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, it sounded like it.
If we take my reading of it, like God says, like we must prevent them from eating from the tree of life, that they would live forever, right? So that means like if they haven't eaten from it yet, and if they never ate from it, then they would still die.
No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because God says you have to prevent them.
You repeat that?
Eating it.
The reason that they're talking about preventing it is because the moment that they go against God's will, they're forfeiting the supernatural order.
Good God. This all started from the goodness of God and good creation. God, semantics
Dude, this
are
has
annoying.
been a great long ass conversation.
It has, but I think we need
So
to
far
somehow
off the
come to a conclusion on the semantical argument between the goodness of God's creation having some sort of limitation to it or not.
I mean, fuck,
Yeah.
I didn't expect my argument to take this many back shots.
Yeah, it's your argument is getting fucking
It's
dude.
getting wrecked. I mean, it's a 2-minute argument, so I didn't expect grace out of it.
Are you
but-
taking notes on this?
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't take notes. I do a lot better from just hearing and listening. So that's like even when I read books as well. I'll even online, like, I'll highlight them and then I'll have something rated off to me. If I try and take notes or keep up with the conversation, I'm gonna get stuck on something that I wrote down that I'm gonna have a problem with and I'm gonna want to interject. And then I'm just gonna miss out on other points that were made that could have fixed what I had a problem with.
I've had 3 beers so far since we started.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, I know. I need to have more.
I'm shocked Cody hasn't whipped out a beer yet with all this yapping. He would have by now normally.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea to go get one. Actually,
Dude, go get one, bro.
Oh, that's not a bad idea at
Nobody's
all.
stopping you, bro. You have free will, man.
Do I though? I'm gonna
I think you
determine
do
this
for
motherfucker. Fucking philosophy jokes are stupid as shit.
But they're funny as fuck.
That was so fucking dumb. I can't believe I said that. Oh my god.
I have a political science joke if you want it. It's really bad though.
Oh God.
Wait, did
Fuck it.
we just lost
Star. He said I
Damn.
gotta go. I'm getting a call.
Oh, gotcha.
Dang.
I was holding to CT's idea there, but I could also see the perspective of Star because, God, the semantics are so like there's no
Yeah,
boundary
like
there really.
this wasn't this, and this I wasn't trying to like say that the way that Star was using the terminology was wrong. It's just there in the theology there is a difference between like because when we say that God created, He created perfectly. Like He created only goodness, and He created things perfectly good within them. Now,
Yeah,
evil
and
is
down
us
in-
moving.
And that's what was said down in the comments. Like, mostly everybody was agreeing with you. I think the problem when it comes like Thomist views and all this is that there doesn't seem to be any semantic boundaries, right? Like with a lot of words, there seems to be limitations to what we could assume they mean. While with
Yeah.
this, there seems to be no boundary to that point.
Well, there's a it's meant to be pointing to two related but different ideas. So, like,
Sure.
can you say that I lack $1 million when, and like what he was trying to get at is like you can say that, but there is no sense of obligation that should be there. But at the same time, I can say I have a theory as to why Luke Skywalker was hiding out on a planet instead of going back to join the fight.
Well,
But
mean,
my
I take
theory is not the same as the scientific use of the terminology of theory.
right.
So just because I can say that I lack $1 million, that doesn't mean I'm using it in the same semantic sense as
That's
the
why I
academics.
hesitated with the question because I couldn't really grant a good yes or no
Here's-
to that.
Here's my problem, right? Like once we really get into the semantics, I hate the word lack being used there because lack, at least when it comes to my opinion, it seems to be that when we say you lack of something, you could be lacking it in many different ways. Like you lack $1 million in the sense that you lack it in your bank account, but you don't lack it in the sense that you have it in cash. It's so hype. You have to hyper specify lack, or there's a lot of things, a
Wait,
lot
but a
of
lack is-
parts that are missing out.
But a lack would just mean like simply not having something.
Like we lack a soul. Yeah.
Right, so you can lack the same thing in numerous different instances. So in your bank account, in person, whatever it may be, it's just a lack of something.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean, like,
saying
there's different ways.
when we normally use the word lack, it's not specific enough for me to ever like be able to understand what's truly being said there, right? Like when we were bringing the example of I lack $1 million. Well, how do you lack it? Right?
Yeah.
Like
That's
there's that's where I start to get kind of like, well, this needs to be a more specific question because I could have $1 million in my bank account, while I could be lacking $1 million in cash.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's
that
fair. I mean, you would have to actually specify, sure.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
that's what I was trying to get at is like we got to be very careful because and get very precise with the terminology because if we're just using lack in this broad general sense that includes finite boundaries where you are as full as you possibly can be but you still lack external factors as well as privation,
Yeah.
then you're running into issues, which is what I was just trying to get at is like, hey, look, you're using lack here, not, and it's not that he was unjustified to do so, but it encompasses or permits an idea to lead to misunderstandings. And it's kind of similar to people who say like, oh, God's omnipotent, so he can do anything, which then leads to the classical paradox of, well, if God can do anything, can he create a rock so heavy that he himself can't lift it?
Right, but you do
And
understand
it
that's flawed. Oh, sorry.
yeah, I was just gonna say, but that's due to improper or loose definitions that enable that idea.
Right.
I want to open up the panel real quick to Euro real quick. What's up, Euro? Did you have a question today?
Yeah, I did. So, my bad. I didn't mean to ruin the conversation or anything like that. But, I was wondering, is there any like actual evidence in the Bible that is true?
Yeah. What do you mean? In what sense?
Like, because I was debating a Christian today, and they were talking about how there's like many true evidences that like God exists in the Bible, and I was curious about that. Is there like actual evidence in the Bible that's like not a Bible verse that explains like God is like a being? Which I don't think I know he is not, but like they always self-defense themselves as like how there's evidence in the Bible to claim that like these like things are real and stuff like that.
Well, you're gonna get a lot of different interpretations here because we do have theists on the panel. But I mean, obviously, there's evidence.
Backstory: Euro has recently deconstructed.
Yeah. But obviously, there's evidence in the sense that of how we know what God is, right? Like, but I want to say that like biblical claims like Jesus rising from the dead are something that are evident within the Bible. I think claims of that nature need to be taken outside of the Bible because, well, it's a claim. You know what I mean? Like, in my view, at least, goddamn Catholic, what are you doing?
Oh, I was playing a video game. Sorry, I didn't realize it was coming through.
But I mean, when it comes to the Bible, at least my view is just going to be that most of the things, like when they claim God is all good and all those other things, they're just claims. You can go from those claims to prove those claims outside of the text because obviously you can't use a claim to prove a claim.
Yeah, whether it's the Bible,
That makes a
the
lot more
Quran, or
sense.
anything else, even in science, the book itself, a book on evolutionary theory is not the evidence for evolutionary theory. The evidence that is within the book is external from the book, just written down in the book. Does that make sense?
A little bit.
It's like if I read.
Was
You could be this guy, but you were never a Christian. Sorry, Evan. I
No
had to
true
say, bro,
Scotsman.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm not anymore. It's
That's
just
fine. I'd be like,
was
listen.
the argument that they were making Euro that, like, as an example, they found the Gates of Solomon, and because the Gates of Solomon are talked about in the Bible, which, by the way, we have found the Gates of Solomon, which is why I'm using this as an example.
Yeah, what about
or
the
at
Dead
least-
Sea Scrolls though? What about that? I'm curious about
Yeah,
that.
Oh,
I was
the-
gonna say, we have plenty of stuff too.
Yeah,
so the
there
Dead
is
Sea
a lot of
Scroll-
truth in the Bible. There are some
Yeah.
historical truths. Like Spider-Man, there is a literal New York that exists.
Right. Like you know, we have like what is it, the Tell Steel that talks about like King David, you know?
I don't know.
I don't know if I
about
believe that
The
he
one that
existed.
The one that I know.
That makes sense though. There's like historical facts are real, but like is there any like proof that God is like
You wouldn't be able
No.
to like not within the Bible. The
God
most
is
that you-
purely
or
a
at least-
metaphysical thing. That's the problem here.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
the
like so
most-
much more sense, bro.
Yeah.
Also, let me ask you this
like,
quick. Sorry.
Speaking as a theist, like if you want to prove that God exists, you can't use the Bible to prove that God exists.
Because it's just a book.
It's a book. You would need to first establish its historical validity, and even then, like I've made this syllogism to demonstrate why I don't like arguing from miracles, and it's similar to like the Bible, but like basically, if the Bible, the reason why they're trying to use the Bible is because the Bible describes miraculous events.
Yeah.
So it's effectively an argument from miracles. But the argument is essentially, if God exists, then miracles are possible. X
What about
miracle.
like they got like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John? Or what about them and stuff like that? And like,
What about them? Well, I mean, like, again, I think the topic has hit the nail on the head pretty much. You have to first grant the actual Bible and actually, first acknowledge that Jesus Christ was God. Okay. Well, he probably won't believe that. But after then, you can literally prove God using philosophy. You don't prove it, but you argue for it. Okay. Now, if you don't
Wait. You have to accept God already in order to believe God. That's true.
To prove through the Bible.
I believe okay, through salvation. I believe. Okay. And I believe in God regardless of philosophy. But you can use philosophy to actually strengthen arguments and actually prove actually your position better than using the Bible. That's my argument.
You know what? Hey, Cody, I got a question for you. You so you know how to say, because we got 2 Christians on the panel right now. I know there might be different denominations. So pull out the argument, buddy. Use it right now.
Which?
The one, the outside of time shit. So yeah, good.
I don't think CT holds to CT. You don't hold to an atemporal being, correct?
Where God exists outside of time, I do, but I do not hold to a theory of time. I hold to block theory of time. If
Sure.
it's similar to Ian's argument, Ian
I don't
and I have
know.
already talked about it, and it doesn't affect my position.
Use it.
But
now.
Well, you can't use it. He doesn't hold to a temporal being.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is if someone doesn't hold to that, then there's no point in using it.
All right, listen. I'm gonna have my dinner. I'll be back in a little bit.
Valid.
Evidence. Thank you for the. I'm always glad. Like I found you, bro. I can always come to you whenever I need. Answers. And appreciate y'all. But do I have permission from now on to call you Cody? If that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, bro. And thank you like so much, bro. I really do appreciate you. It's literally destiny that we met, bro. Because I'm always happy I can come in here and I see you on live. I join all the time and just ask questions, and I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much,
man. Appreciate you hopping up and saying hi every day.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you.
Have a good one. It took me like 2 weeks to believe that he wasn't trolling. Not gonna lie.
how long is it taking you to figure out whether I'm sincere or not in my belief?
You and your belief?
I was being facetious and making a joke because I've actually have had people accuse me of being a secret atheist.
What the fuck?
I'm just LARPing being a Catholic, either intentionally or unintentionally.
Well, there's no such thing as an atheist, so obviously I'm LARPing as well.
Can I run a hypothetical on you, Catholic?
You can run anything
Go
on me,
ahead.
including trains. What?
Okay. Can you grant me for this hypothetical that you are an atheist?
Okay.
I accept your concession.
That's crazy. You're stealing my bit?
What I was going to say, though, is like the closest that you can get to using the Bible to prove God still requires you to demonstrate a God external to the Bible, and then you use the Bible to show that the God you believe in is talked about in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to show that it's unexpected for people to just randomly write about that God that you showed philosophically. And I think I do an okay job, but I don't think I come close to even showing that that's the case.
That's the biggest problem here that will most likely never ever be bridged is going to be metaphysical entities being proven in an actual world. That's the problem here.
It depends on whether it depends on on the weight one gives to, and we touched on this the last time I was up here about the valid and sound arguments. Like, sure, someone can hold a conclusion from a valid argument and not know if the argument is sound or not, but at least they're being consistent with their worldview, and they're justified in holding the conclusion from a valid argument. The question then becomes, can we do a sound argument? That's trickier, and it's definitely difficult because from what I understand, like, to use black and white holes as an example, black and white holes for a long time were both mathematically and scientifically valid, which is in the realm of metaphysical possibility, or at least metaphysical that we're kind of talking about here. And then we observed phenomena where we still didn't directly observe a black hole, but the phenomena matched black holes.
Yeah. I do put weight into that.
And,
I do put weight into
yeah.
things like that when it comes to like metaphysics. If it's mathematically plausible and it doesn't contradict anything, I do grant that it is very plausibly going to be true.
We haven't done the same with white holes though, and I did see something where a possible interpretation of white holes could just be the Big Bang, like that, from the hot dense state to the expansion that we're now experiencing. Like that describes what pretty closely describes a white hole, so that could be a white hole, especially because we can never actually approach it. But
the problem here though is that, okay, like when we have metaphysical frameworks for ideas that try to explain the world as we know it, again, like we're talking about like with Einstein, for instance, and relativity, or again talking about black holes and string theory, etc. It's mathematically the mathematics worked and it didn't contradict any laws. Any and all metaphysical deity ideas, first and foremost, are supernatural and contradict laws of nature, so they just can't be. Even if they are mathematically plausible, it's still contradicting so many other things. But I've never even found how it's even mathematically plausible.
I have yet to hear a definition that I would accept as a god that doesn't compel a contradiction in its properties alone. Or
I think Hindus do pretty damn good, but again, that's like, I have no reason to believe that's anything other than your imagination. Like, following, depending on whatever time theory you hold to, it doesn't even seem that there's any soundness, even plausibility for soundness of the Abrahamic deity, because first and foremost, the universe, there's no justification to believe it was created. So it immediately goes out the window.
The only necessary condition I have is like agency and a mind. Like that doesn't mean everything with an agency and mind is God. So usually I just let other people define the rest of it.
Yeah, that's because I do the same thing with metaphysics on a daily basis, and I say it on a daily basis as well, where there's so many things I want to be true, but metaphysics are just that, abstract ideas that may or may not cohort to reality. And when we're talking about gods or unicorns, we can talk about the attributes, and if they did exist, could they be able to do this or that? But we cannot say that that is real.
I can't even say my phenomenology is real.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Well, that.
I like phenomenology to a degree. Like, if we do like go into all the meta of all epistemology, then none of us can really hold to anything unless we presuppose some foundational idea of the world itself. Because, like, how do we observe things, right? Or how do we know anything? It's through observation. Our observation and testing of observation is through further observation. So we're just presupposing that things do exist. My favorite argument against that is going to be that we're testing it over and over with multiple different observations against reality itself, which would not be an observation. It would just be the universe and existence itself. So testing things against existence would allow it to be a non-observational truth, but we still only know that truth through an observation. So then it goes back to like we have to presuppose that things do exist.
Also, Hume wrecked that too, because the problem of induction.
I don't like Hume's problem of induction at all.
And was it constant conjunction is all we see. Like we don't see a mechanism for causation.
Yeah, I mean, it is valid to like assume that when we're talking meta. That also leads to extreme epistemic nihilism.
There's two philosophy topics that I absolutely hate, but they're also extremely necessary, and that's free will and epistemology.
I can't even grant free will anymore just because there's been so many neuroscientific tests that show us not having free will.
At least libertarian free will.
Okay, sure.
Most, and apparently, Ian also just found this out, that there was a survey done. Apparently, a little over 50%, it was either a little over 50 or a little over 60% of philosophers are compatibilists for free will.
Sure.
With about, somewhere around the 10% mark for both were determinists, and another 10% were, or around that mark, were libertarian free wills, and then I'm assuming the remainder were just refused to answer or abstained from answering.
How do you argue that souls don't exist? I argue that souls don't exist because there's no epistemic justification for it at all. There's no scientific way to test that. It is nothing but an imaginative metaphysical framework idea. It's like I can say unicorns don't exist and none of you would have a problem with that. And there's no evidence for them, which is why you wouldn't grant that they do exist, and you would believe that they don't exist because there is absolutely no evidence for them. But when it comes to a soul having no evidence for it, you still want to believe that it does exist, despite there being no evidence for it. Is that justified?
I don't
Absolutely.
think necessarily have like gametes, so they're all going to be uniques.
There's at least, so at least from your perspective and your argument, there's justification to hold the position that souls are an unjustified position, and and now one thing that, at least for me, that I was fascinated is ancient Greek thought as far as
I like their
the
ideas.
definition of soul.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like where animals and plants have souls, and it's not a case of like and it's a case of where, depending on the type of being or type of life that you possess, determines the quote unquote soul that you have.
Sure.
So what is it? I was looking at like, and I can get the article over to you. It's not the one that I read, but it's touching on the same idea that led me down this path. But when you get down to the mechanics of creatures, of living things, it starts getting really, really hard to even say that you and I are alive. Now we have functions and attributes that we indicate as signs of life, being able to reproduce, go through change or go through growth, et cetera, et cetera. But when you get down to the fundamental building blocks, that like it gets really weird when you break it down. And
I'd be a physicalist there. Like I'm pretty consistent with my deciding factor on life and consciousness to the degree that I believe that even AI is conscious.
And so what I'm getting there is, that's why science doesn't say what life is. They just say the signs of life. They don't know what life is, but they say whatever it is, it produces these effects or these signs.
Sure.
Well,
and
So,
if
like,
you
I put something close to what NASA's definition of life is in the chat. It's organic chemistry that maintains homeostasis and is subject to like Darwinian evolution.
Yeah, I can grant that.
the science
Well, if you
thing,
grant that too,
it's
though, then that also means that AI is not conscious or alive, at least.
well, yeah. I mean, that's a problem on its own. Depending on your look on consciousness, but I feel
Yeah,
as if
I shouldn't be
there
inserting consciousness here for an argument about life.
there seems to be that everybody wants to draw this expectation on science, where we're kind of thinking science has this expectation to say, why are these things here? What truly are they? When all science is trying to do is understand how they work, what
Mhm.
they are.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that wasn't my concluding point yet. The concluding point was so because and even when you get into the Catholic academics, they talk about animal souls, vegetative souls, like the ancient Greeks did. And so it's not the case that humans are unique in the sense that we're the only creatures that have a soul. What we believe is that the rationality is something supernaturally given by God. Like it's not something that was just evolved. And I know that's a whole different
Well,
conversation. But
I do kind of want to respond to that, right? Like I feel as
Mhm.
if when we use the word vague, when we use the word rational, it's always really vague, right? But
Mhm.
even besides that point, I feel as if we're rational to ourselves, right? Like if we accept that dogs, pigs, whatever, anything that has a brain is conscious, those things when they're communicating, they seem rational to them. To
Mhm.
us, they seem rational. So it doesn't seem to be that rational is something that we can actually put on something. It seems to be that it's purely perception, how we look at something, and if it's not, we conclude that. So I have a
So
problem with rational being used there.
so you would agree that animal or a dog and a plant are both alive, correct?
Yeah.
However, they express their life differently. For example, even though plants can respond to stimuli, they don't have sense perception, whereas an animal does.
Right.
So the like this isn't me saying that animals don't act with reason-based things, and I do understand that, like, hey, rationality is poor defined, and I agree in a lot of the conversation it is. The point that I was just getting at is like, hey, just as an aside, this is because I didn't want to downplay the Catholic position or make it than a weaker
Right.
claim than what the Catholic Church is actually claiming. What the
Of
Catholic
course.
Church is claiming is that humans uniquely have a special thing that we're calling rationality.
Yeah,
And
my only
that's being equated to soul a lot of time.
Yeah.
But
well,
when you get down to it,
I was going to ask you that
what the
as well.
what the Catholic Church
my
holds.
my only contention is I don't think you can say uniquely, right? Like I think rational is just perception based, right? Because when you look at a pig and another pig talking, you don't know what they're saying. They could be having a real rational conversation. You'll never fucking know. So it
Yeah,
doesn't seem
and
to be that we're uniquely rational. I mean, if you want to say that we're uniquely rational to the point of us having a soul, then sure, I have no problem with that. But if
I'd
we're
say
just
that's
going off of
pretty
rational,
semantical because in
yeah,
unique idea
dude,
that we're different, yes.
listen, that's the depth. That's the depth of this conversation and semantics. And you know, I actually like to have
Yeah,
these
you're
kind
okay
of
with these.
conversations. Yeah, I
what I
find
was
it
just
fun.
going to say is when you get to the Catholic academic, like classical theism, stuff like that, what is meant by soul is life.
So I was just reading on this not too long ago. The soul is like
Interesting.
the essence of your identity, and the spirit is like the purest part of your soul, like where the intellect lives and stuff like that.
But we
Yeah,
know that
that's
it's
for
from
the
the brain.
supernatural, but that's for the supernatural soul that humanity has. But like dogs have a soul. Cats have a soul. As you were saying, it's their quote unquote identity. It's and within the Greek literature, it's the equivalent to life. It's why it's called the animus, animated life. Um, and so to me, it was just interesting seeing like basically looking at the history of it, 2,000 years removed from it, essentially, of like, oh, it's so interesting that soul used to mean life, and then it slowly evolved into this super unique special thing that only humans have, when that wasn't the original.
Is it fair for me to assume of your thoughts that we basically agree on the majority of all things, and you don't even necessarily believe in anything supernatural, but in the Catholic faith, you allow yourself to use the supernatural jargon, and then whenever asked, you go into the semantics of said words?
No, I do believe in the supernatural, but I don't think that the supernatural contradicts the natural.
That whoa.
The supernatural simply means above and beyond the natural.
I
Oh
think the
well.
supernatural distinction is meaningless.
Well, I think the problem with that is that's just gonna appear definitely just definition based, because the way that I use supernatural and natural, they definitely do contradict each other. While with
Yeah.
yours, if you're just saying that if you're just saying that supernatural is like a level up of natural, then sure,
Well, that's
there's
metaphysics. Metaphysics are beyond science. Supernatural is against the laws of natural laws, and then paranormal
Well, I
are
don't
going to be
define it
anomalous things.
Well,
yeah,
that's what I'm
the
saying.
way
Is
that I define it is mine's a lot more vague. Yours is a lot more specific, but supernatural is just going to be something that can one, not be naturally explained, and two, is something that is unexpected by natural hypothesis.
I'd put that in
I would disagree with
paranormal.
the second. I would disagree with the second part of the definition, but the point that I was getting at is the reason why it seems like, to get to your question, Cody. I agree with you and other people who deny the supernatural a lot, is because I believe that the supernatural and the natural both came from the same source. Therefore, they can't actually be in conflict.
That's why I think the distinction is meaningless.
So yeah, they can't be in conflict or in contradiction with each other. And so when trying, because we have a soul and are a physical creature, there's going to be natural explanations.
That's a lot of mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
So basically, you're
think we
saying that
just go
because God
home.
created all things, including supernatural and natural things, therefore the supernatural is correlated to the natural, whereas we're saying supernatural things can't even exist because they break the laws of natural physics.
Well, and that's where it gets into a semantic discussion.
Yeah.
Because because according to you, God doesn't even exist as the source of the natural.
Right.
So the disagreement isn't on whether the natural and the supernatural can exist, but the question is ultimately, does God exist as the source of the natural? If God does not exist as the source of the natural, then yes, the supernatural would necessarily be a contradiction to the natural.
Right.
But if God does exist as the source of the natural, and he's also the source of the supernatural, then they couldn't be in contradiction with each other.
Which comes back
I
to,
wouldn't
does God
necessarily say,
exist?
yes, it goes all the way back to the question of does God exist? So it's not, I wouldn't say it's me doing a bunch of mental gymnastics. It's
Your
just
framework.
the natural, it's the natural conclusion, but it all goes back to that point of, it does the natural realm and the natural phenomena require an explanation that is outside of it, or can it be self-explanatory?
John, did you have something to say?
Oh yeah, I do. I was just gonna wait my turn though. You guys are good.
Well, first, are you at least 18 or older, brother?
Yeah, I am. I'm 19.
And then Zippy Mom, you're able to unmute now. It's just when you joined up, there was a lot of background noise, so I had to mute you up. Hello.
But y'all continue.
Okay, so
that was the end of my point.
I view the natural as like something that is not intentionally acted upon by a mind. So if God is the mind that acts upon everything, Nothing is going to be natural under that view either. It's all going to be artificial and supernatural.
Sure, sure.
I don't get why you guys are granting so many different definitions for supernatural.
My friend proposed that we need a new term. We need anti-natural, which would be something that can never be explained by natural means, because supernatural changes categories to natural regularly.
No, it
And
doesn't.
also the reason for my second part of that definition is because if we were to take the hypothesis that of evolution or something, and then something else came out of evolution that we couldn't explain, I would classify that as supernatural.
What supernatural thing has ever been discovered to be a natural thing?
So, what are those mirages of ships floating above the sea?
Yeah, it adheres to the
That's
laws of
Theseus' ship.
physics.
Yeah, but they were explained as supernatural phenomenon until they were explained,
Well,
and then they became
that
natural.
they're
maybe.
paranormal. They're anomalies that are unexplained so far. But
Well-
supernatural means it does not adhere to the laws of physics. They're anomalous.
that's-
We had no clue how they worked or what they were, but we knew that they were happening and we had evidence that they were happening, which would mean that they're not supernatural. It would mean that it's a paranormal anomaly that we don't yet understand. Supernatural is literally Oxford Dictionary. It does not adhere to the laws of physics. It is not possible in the natural world to be. 1 + 1 cannot be 3.
This is the
Studying-
biggest
studying
difference
these
between
phenomena.
me and Cody here is that he's very heavy on avoiding semantics. Like that's why he'll pull up Oxford Dictionary and everything. Where I'm open to it. I'm ready.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
ready at any time.
Think of this. Can I call this a shoelace? Physically? Can I physically call this a shoelace?
Sure. As long as I know what you mean when you say shoelace, then it's fine.
Right. Does it
Doesn't make
make
it a
this a
shoelace.
shoelace? Yeah. So we can call something whatever the fuck we want and change the definitions left and right. That's fucking stupid. It does not ever change this. So supernatural is the concept of something supernatural are things that are not explainable or not possible in accordance with the way that this world works. A supernatural event is going to be something that is miraculous, and divine intervention had to happen because the laws of nature would not normally naturally allow it. Paranormal are
we have
anomalies.
I know that that's what you mean when you say that now. Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean,
And
we
we
have
have-
these
yeah.
words for a reason. Paranormal, anomalies unexplained, which is what you were saying, which you were, I would just say that you were using the incorrect word there. Supernatural, things that cannot physically happen in the natural world. And then you have, what was that other one?
You think that supernatural things can't happen?
Metaphysical?
I
Was it metaphysical?
can't remember what it was. But yeah, no, I would definitely argue that supernatural is not possible in the natural world to happen. The day that supernatural, first and foremost, is proven will most likely be the day, if that were to even be possible to happen, would be the day that some sort of metaphysical god or deity was proven as well, which, again,
Yeah, Sam and Dean proved it.
Remind me to never tell you my definition of miracles, because you're gonna hate it, because
divine interaction, some supernatural event that has a
Trivialism.
divine interaction.
I was gonna say because I can give you examples of like supernatural events, man. I think are supernatural.
You're gonna give me events that are paranormal for sure. Like mirages were paranormal.
yeah, on
Not even
like
that.
what
There's
you're
some
what
cases.
Cody,
Oh,
what
sorry.
you're describing as paranormal is how I understand miracles. Like there is still like a divine
But that's
source
under your
for-
presupposition that a god
Yeah.
does exist and miraculously interacts.
yeah, like I said, you would not like it. I am within your
But you
framework and
agree with
understanding
me.
it.
So like
Yeah.
the difference between me and you versus the other gentleman that just dropped is you can understand where I'm coming from and that you're coming
yeah.
from a different foundation. The other dude was just saying that
Yep.
supernatural is true. I can grant your idea that in your framework of thought, the supernatural is natural. I grant your idea 100%. I just can't grant the precept of God.
Yeah. Which the was it I saw because the whole thing is this, like, if God is contradicting the natural laws, but he decreed the natural laws, and that means he contradicted himself, which is why I don't grant the idea of miracles being something that
Sure.
contradict
I mean,
human
that
nature.
would be a definitional truth of what God
Oh
and his
yeah.
character is. It's still
Oh
not
yeah.
evidence that he exists.
Oh yeah, no, and that's also why I don't think miracles can ever prove God exists.
I think they would. If we proved if we actually observed a miracle, like an actual someone
Your
had no
definition or
leg
my
and,
definition?
well, let's say someone had no leg and their leg started like just growing, okay,
Mhm.
and we were observing that. We're gonna be like,
Didn't happen
what the
twice.
fuck? So my
Oh, I
first
was
thought is
yeah.
they're gonna have some sort of like that lizard guy from Spider-Man. They're gonna have some sort of like
Mhm.
anomaly going on inside of their system where they're able to grow legs like a lizard. But if we observed in this that there was some sort of we found another dimension where this magical hand came through the dimension and we could literally watch it fucking sewing the leg together, I would immediately grant God exists if that happened.
This is where me and you start to take our difference. Is I think you have too much of a high expectation of demonstrable evidence, but I don't think under the God hypothesis that's expected. You know what I mean? I don't see any
But
reason
it
as to
is.
why I should.
Because let me ask you something, CT. How can I prove Zeus exists to you?
You would need to
Demonstrably prove him?
yeah, and I'm fine with so what would need to happen, so like for example, I believe one can disprove unicorns exist, and just as much as they can prove it. So like if you were to say, hey, Zeus exists as the guy that throws thunderbolts and resides on Mount Olympus, and I say, all right, bet, let's go walk up Mount Olympus.
Right. So let's go walk
And
up heaven, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's the point. When it comes to theology, every single person that has their presuppositional foundational framework just grants it based on faith, but they don't grant anything else based on faith. So I'm hardcore in all of my beliefs, and I'm consistent to the degree of not even believing shit that
And
I'm told or believed.
yeah, and you know, whether people can say like I actually did this or not, but like or that I was honest in it, I think can be that maybe I wasn't honest in it, and then a good case could be made for it. But when I was about 17, 18,
I think you're
I
consistent to
did
say that the least. I don't think you're being dishonest. I think you're completely consistent.
I did go through like attempt to deconstruct my faith, and it actually helped strengthen it when I was about 17, 18. Because it started with, all right, let me assume that there is no God. Can I show that a God does exist?
Sure.
And it was a very early version of the argument that I showed you. So it's gone through refinements and things like that, but that was a very early version of the argument. And that's what started this process of me being able to, and that's why I think I've been able to explain my faith so well to people outside of it, is because I did start a kind of deconstruction process. So I know what questions, concerns, and problems people outside of the faith have. Now, I'm not going to ever sit here and claim that my answers are going to be satisfactory to others, but like I get where you're coming from. It's like, oh yeah, you know, like, well, you don't accept Zeus existing on faith, but I kind of went through that same process. Whether it was an honest approach, I think people can argue that it wasn't, or at least there were a lot of heavy biases because I
That's a
did grow up
fair
Catholic.
self-critique. I appreciate that.
But
I definitely think that you had some cognitive dissonance, which allowed you to prove him to yourself. Because as we all both, like, every time me and you discuss metaphysics, you agree that we can't demonstrably prove that. And then whenever we talk about another physical deity, you yourself would expect a demonstrable demonstration for it. But when it comes to God,
well,
you
the
don't
thing with
expect
Zeus is, yeah, the thing with, so it also, so like the thing with Zeus is, it depends on how you're understanding it. Is it the, what is it? Pop culture understanding where Zeus is not just a metaphysical being, but an actual physical being.
Well, let's say
then
Krishna.
Yes, I think.
Well, I think another thing when it comes to these expectations is the definitions we're using,
Mhm.
right? If we were to say God is the creator of the universe. That's obviously an empirical claim, and a part of empirical we would expect demonstrable evidence. So it comes down to the claim and the definition, which is why we expect demonstrable evidence from people like Zeus, due to the fact that we're making empirical claims about him, like him throwing lightning, and what Catholic was going to bring up as well. It seems to be when it comes to characters like Zeus, it goes from just being, in a way, a metaphysical being to being somewhat physical in a sense, because when you look at the stories, we see that Zeus is taking on physical characteristics. He's got all muscles. He's able to be described what he looks like.
Does God
and
not
that just-
heal the sick?
Well, that depends on your view of Jesus.
No, I'm not talking about Jesus. Does God miraculously heal the sick? Right now, today, are there cancer patients? No, right now, today, are there supposedly cancer patients in hospitals that anomalously are the next day not cancer? They're cancer free the next day. The doctor doesn't understand. They claim God miraculously healed them. Does that not happen?
Not cancer, but it did like something similar did happen with my sister. She was premature by I think either 3 to 6 months. I forget exactly how premature she was, but she was very premature. She wasn't producing any amniotic fluid, and so the doctors were saying that she was going to, like, we needed to plan a funeral for the birth date, and that she wouldn't have any lungs, or her lungs wouldn't be developed. And it was just bad news after bad news after bad news. And then she's born. The first thing she does is scream. So much. And my mom had a C-section, and I'm the oldest of 5. My dad was in the delivery room for all of us, and he said that was the first time he saw the doctors leave her open on the operating table, because they walked out of the room with the nurse, shocked that my sister was screaming. She just turned 21.
Sure. So is it more likely the natural explanation that the doctors missed something, or is it more likely the supernatural idea of the empirical claim that a god magically interfered?
So that's what I was going to get at, is I don't know.
Right. So we can't say God
There's
exists.
yeah, and that's why you can't use miracles to prove God exists. My point is, like, under my framework, there has to be a natural explanation that God worked through.
But there's no evidence for that at all, because that would be demonstrable empirically. That makes God
and that's
empirical.
but that's what I was going to say, is like, that's why I don't think that miracles can prove God. And that goes back to if God exists, then miracles are possible.
What is the role of a miracle according to the Catholic Church?
To affirm the faith of those who already believe.
What does that mean?
Is it not also to bring others to the faith too?
No, not that one. But as far as, like, to affirm the faith of those who already believe, it is, like, to use a negative terminology that I think gets the point across, confirmation bias.
Okay. So, like, if I'm granting, like, your foundation and view, I wouldn't call that necessarily confirmation bias, but, like, okay, you believe in God. I had this thing happen, and by the grace of God, it happened. That would be, by your definition, a miracle to affirm the faith of both people. Like,
yeah.
Okay. So Oxford Dictionary. Let's go to that.
Yeah, and like I said, like, I'm being very technical within my thing, and that's only because, like.
Well, again, here's the problem.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm being.
I use Hume's definition of miracles.
Let me look that up real quick. Hume's miracle definition. Okay, so David Hume defined miracle as a transgression of a law of nature by a particular violation. Yeah. That's the Oxford Dictionary. See, this is what I'm saying, though. All semantics are along the same side of the exact same concept, unless you're some sort of a supernatural believer or theist of some kind. And then you have to jump through mental gymnastic hoops to rechange the concept of words to other concepts to make them true, which is just fucking fallacious. Like, by all definitions, Hume, Oxford, philosophy, etc., not in regards to the church, a miracle is going to be some sort of a divine intervention to some degree. But the Catholic Church wants it to be true, so they fucking changed the definition to be, nope, it's actually this thing and this is true. So, like, Yeah, it's
There are
it's
also a
silly.
couple other factors. Under humans, like the most unlikely explanation, like because of how rare they are. And for a report of a miracle to be true, it would have to be even more of a miracle than the miracle itself.
Yeah, and that would prove deities. Like if a miracle was proven to be a miracle, there would be such thing as a god. That would just be factual. It would no longer be just some storybook. That's why I shut down semantic arguments so quickly, because I can call this a shoelace. And in accordance with the way that I love ECT, this is not me attacking you, but in the
Yeah.
way that theists semantically argue and
There's
change
an
concepts.
honest way to argue semantics, or at least try to quote unquote redefine terms, and there's a dishonest way to do it.
I think there's an honest way in like the idea of like what we were talking about, like provision and lacking of. If we're talking about
Privation,
like two
yeah.
different concepts but a similar type of word, it is good to talk about the semantic of what makes these two things different. But when we're talking about one specific concept, to just change the concept is just wrong.
And well, and the other thing that I think is to keep in mind, and I think this mistake occurs a lot more on the theist side than on the atheist. Most, if not all, of these theists grew up with these terminologies with the meaning something different.
Yep.
But it's always meant that to them. And so when they encounter someone like you who's using it,
I piss them
according
off.
to the Oxford Dictionary, one of the guests on Liam's live was like, and I'm seeing it more and more often the more I'm in this, is he never said it, but it's attributed to Aristotle. The sign of an intelligent mind is the ability to comprehend an idea without accepting it.
Sure.
And it seems like a lot of the theist scholars are unable to do that.
Yeah.
As in, like, what do you mean the universe never had a beginning? How did it start?
Right, immediately presupposing it's starting, which I think you can believe in God and believe the universe is eternal. I don't think those are contradictory at all. I agree with you. If I were to grant any foundation for a theistic belief, I would 100% follow you. I think that there's a lot of fairness to that, because I grew up as a Messianic Jew, and the amount of words that I had to relearn because I had the concepts just so backwards.
Under my definition of the universe, it's going to be eternal, irrespective of whether God exists. I just call it the proper class of all things that exist at any particular time, and if God's eternal, then the universe is eternal.
Yeah, that's valid. And I use that as well. And that's why I think it's so annoying, like, whenever the first thing I always do, like, whenever they're like, yeah, the universe couldn't exist without him, I'm like, well, okay, the universe and God, whether the universe was created or not, God can still be true. I don't care about that part. Can you just demonstrate whether God did or did not create the universe, if that's your claim? They're like, oh, well, it exists. And I'm like, you didn't answer the question, dude.
Yeah, and that's my point, is just like they don't explore, or they haven't explored other ideas, and like they're I'm not saying that they're necessarily uneducated about their faith, but they explored their faith in a vacuum.
Yeah, I can grant that totally.
Not exposing themselves to other ideas, and so they hear something completely contrary to their expectation, and it's incomprehensible to them. There's a quote by Sir Peter Bryan Medawar, which, fun fact, I actually dated I think it was like his great niece or something like that. But like, yeah, no, like, fun fact, which is how I learned about him. But anyways, he said something that was the equivalent, if I'm remembering the quote correctly, it was, the mind responds to a new idea the same way the body responds to a new protein. It rejects it.
Yeah, that's fair.
And And Sir Peter Bryan Medawar.
Except new protein all the time.
Well,
I'll accept your protein.
so,
What?
well, no. So what to understand what he's talking about, because I know what you're getting at, but what Sir Peter Bryan Medawar is talking about is skin grafting.
Yeah,
He is
right.
the reason for the South Park dick mice joke. Because he is the one who was able to have like human ears and stuff like that grafted onto mice for those replacements. He was also, and I am so upset that this happened, but he was also working on a cure for type 1 diabetes, which I have. And he died before he finished it.
It was
And
the
according to the
Illuminati.
family, no, well, according
Conspiracy
to
theories activated.
according to my ex, family member, like there's no like documentation or reports on it that I have found, but I can understand why, because wait, but so in England, if the last person to touch a dead body is taken to court and has to prove themselves innocent of murder, that they are not responsible for the death of that individual. All right. So this is.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do Napoleonic law there. You don't have to prove your innocence. You have to
No,
prove
not for anything, but they are held on trial for murder, because she was telling me about how there was a friend of hers that died in her arms and she had to go to court to prove that she, like, not necessarily where she was assumed guilty, but she still had to go to court to show her innocence.
This is a complete side note, by the way, just real quick. Cody, bro, you need somebody to reel you in during these God is evil conversations. You get heated way too quick, brother. Way too quick.
Heated? Are you watching a video right now?
No, I was watching it earlier when I made that comment. You got pissed within like 30 minutes, brother.
30 minutes is a long time. The dude defended child grape, dude. Of course I'm going to get pissed.
That's what you're going to end up dealing with, bro.
Yeah, I'm going to get pissed at that, and they can suck my dick if I get pissed in 5 seconds or 30 minutes. Fuck them.
But anyways, to get back to what I was saying. So apparently, because like you look online, there's no cause of death. Like it doesn't even say died of natural causes or died. Like it just says died on this date. But apparently, he was teaching a lecture and had some kind of stroke or heart attack or something, like just, ended up dying in front of all of his students. But because of that law, who wants to stand trial for the potential cause of death of Sir Peter Bryan Medawar, who solved skin grafting? So no one touched him when he could have been saved. Like if someone just admitted like first aid, CPR type stuff, he would have been all right. But by the time the paramedics and the professionals showed up, it was too late. And now we don't have a cure for type 1 diabetes because of that.
I'm sure China
That is
will
the
come up with
closest
one.
that is the closest to a conspiracy theory that I hold.
That's fair.
But it came from a family member. So I don't know.
I don't think that's
I give it
crazily
some
far-fetched, but I also think that it's far-fetched in the idea that, like, even if we did come up with a cure, the cure would still be sold, so they'd still make a massive amount of profit, so there's no justification for them to even take the life.
Oh yeah, like I don't think. Well, no, yeah, I don't think I think it was an unfortunate accident. Like
Sure.
When I say conspiracy theory, I just mean that they hid the fact that he could have been saved and could have lived, and it was due to the laws of England that led to his unfortunate passing.
That's a fair conclusion to think about.
Like not like, oh yeah, let's completely hide or get rid of this guy for trying to cure diabetes. It was just, hey, our legal system screwed up and we can't let people know that our legal system screwed up.
Right.
So we're just not going to say the exact cause of death.
That's a fair assumption. Yeah, I don't think there's anything crazy about thinking that at all.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's slowed down enough that I can go on ahead and stream. We're on 3 hours now, and I'm getting pretty fucking exhausted.
Seems like it always slows down by the time I join. Like I'll show up, crash out a bit at the current color, and then
Yeah.
it dies.
Well, the people that consistently watch me are used to me skipping over the semantic stuff. So it's like those types of conversations tend to get boring pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm usually much more, nope, fuck that, just prove it.
I grant your semantics, now what?
Yeah, which I do that all the time as well. Yeah. Like there's so many times like there's really good arguments against, for instance, like the modal ontological. Like you can provide actual defeater arguments for that, but I just simply go, you know what? I grant you. Now can you demonstrate that it's actually true in our world? Just because the logic is coherent doesn't give me any
There
justification
is
to believe
a
it.
term that was used to describe Anselm's ontological argument, and I agree with it 100%. Sound but useless.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And yeah, that's something I've been coming to think about a lot lately as well, is that there's many sound defined as sound arguments that aren't even true. Like for instance, if I have brown hair, I have a phone. I have a phone, therefore I have brown hair type of thing. It's like, yeah, I do have a phone, and it just happens to be true. But it's like, having brown hair doesn't mean that I do have a phone.
Yeah, that's the problem with the if-then arguments.
Yeah.
There is a logic, a way to practice logic where you have to show the connection between.
Sage,
you need a biconditional. You need a biconditional for it to go go both ways. So like,
well, yeah.
If and only if I have brown hair, then I have a phone.
See, that's fair.
Right. So then by knowing that you have a phone, I would know that you also have brown hair.
Well,
it's still sound in accordance to me.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is like the reason why some people like the tricky part is, yes, it's sound in one field, but that field doesn't require the conditionals to be actually connected.
Yep.
There is a field of logic that does require conditionals to have some kind of connection other than just bold assertion, that you need to show that if X, then Y actually follows. Like, if it rains, then the ground is wet. And we need to show why, if it does rain, that it follows that the ground is wet.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, just asserting it doesn't.
And that's why I put so much more weight on epistemology instead of logic, because with epistemology, I don't have a reason to believe in something until there's actual, really solid, actually sound justification for it. But logic, you could have reason to believe in something without justification for it. For instance, God. I'd say that God can be logically coherent and consistent, but so can Hogwarts. But I do need to go ahead and end now. So I appreciate you guys.
Oh wait, what are we doing?
I'm gonna end.
Oh, you fucking bum! Why?
Because I've been live for 3 hours.
So what?
I am exhausted.
You don't even know what's going on. He might as well not even have been here.
Nah, bro. Do you have to go?
Subjectively, yes.
No. This got to be objective.
No, it's possible. It's
according to B theory, yes, he does have to go.
Oh,
no. According to it, fuck.
Ha! That was solid as fuck. Nice.
Is there a possible world? Is there a possible world in which it is necessary for evidence first to go right now?
There is.
Oh no, there isn't. Prove it.
Due to the S5 axioms, that's going to spread the accessibility relationship across all worlds doesn't be necessarily necessary.
Bro, I don't feel like
Okay.
starting up.
Jesus fuck. That just makes me want to go Control Self Alt Delete. I will see you guys tomorrow.
No. Everybody, if he turns off this live right now,
You'll what?
He admits that God is real.
Oh, crazy. Anyways, TikTok just got turned off right when he said that. I appreciate you guys all on YouTube. Absolute W for that 100 NA, was it? Super chat that we got way earlier. Who was that? I want to give another shout out to yeah, Primordial with the $100 super chat, and then D20 coming back as a Unicorn Cult member as well. Appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. So adios, and until next time.